Hello and welcome to another edition of Savva Talks Spurs. We are 2 minutes early, and that's what happens when you get professionals on like Mr. Michael Bridge. Mr. Bridge, it's been maybe a year and a half since we've done a stream together. How are you?
Very well, mate. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Very well. I'm guessing this is the kind of silly season for you. This is the busy time of year, being in your industry.
Yeah, yes and no, really. I mean, a lot of people who I'd normally speak to, and all the players are on holiday. Some obviously are at the Nations League. I mean, I think we've all seen bits and bobs of England, even other matches. I think they just look absolutely exhausted, if I'm honest with you. So,
yeah,
I'm glad. I mean, obviously, Eric Dyer, we all know should have been in the England squad, but probably a blessing that he's away now and having a well-earned rest. Because, as I say, I see even the likes of Jude Bellingham at 18 years of age really struggling out there. So, players need a bit of a break. We all need a bit of a break, but it doesn't. Football never really sleeps, does it? Especially with transfers, and I think Spurs have made a pretty positive start.
Yeah, I mean, I asked my boss for the summer off, and it didn't go down well. So, yeah, listen, I feel sorry for them to a point, but on a serious note, it's a lot of games, right? I mean, they've jumped straight out of a long season, some of them, where they've gone right deep into Champions Leagues, Europa Leagues, and then 4 England games in about 2 weeks. It's crazy, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, if you look at even Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Denmark got to the semis of the Euros, and then I think he came back 9 days after that semi-final.
Yeah.
And he's now playing in the Nations League. Now, he'll tell you that he loves it, he's a machine, but it doesn't matter how much you earn, it's just one body, so these players have to be careful. So, I just hope they get a good rest after these games, because it is a slog, and obviously we've got the World Cup coming up as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a real difficult season. So, look, I don't work for UEFA. I don't work for FIFA. Every organisation's got their own vested interests. But I just think from a player's point of view, there could have been a little bit of thought gone into it with, like Wales played, against Holland the other night. They've just played a World Cup playoff final.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's life, isn't it? That's life. That's football.
Absolutely. That leads us on nicely. So first of all, thank you for everybody who's tuning in. And I'm sure we'll get a lot more people as we go on. Absolutely. I like to interact everyone. So put any questions you got for Michael in the comments. If there are any ridiculous or silly questions, any of you that are moderators, please just remove it and I will read out some sensible ones in time. But Michael, look, that leads us on nicely, I suppose, from when we're talking about players coming back from the Euros last year. Wanted to start off by talking about Harry Kane, because it's been a real difficult year for Harry Kane in some respects, and a brilliant year in other respects. I mean, he came back late from the Euros, obviously. I say late because England got to the final. Then there was the whole contract situation and the Man City situation. And look, the first 3 months may as well have been a write-off for Harry Kane. It wasn't the Harry we knew. What did you make of that? And do you think we're going to see a completely different Harry Kane now moving forward into this season?
I don't think it's the Tottenham we knew, to be honest with you. What on earth was going on? Paulo Fonseca, Gennaro Gattuso, Nuno Espirito Santo. What on earth was going on there? I mean,
yeah.
Look, I dealt with Nuno at the start of the season, and he was very nice. And I thought, he was a gentleman. With things like remembering your name, but he was difficult in other senses. I remember Alistair Gold, talking about Oliver Skipp playing well at Wolves. I think it was Wolves, and he'd turn around and went, "Alistair, you shouldn't talk about individuals. It's poor from you." I messaged him after. I said, "What's going on here? I mean, you're praising the guy. You're praising an academy product."
Yeah.
So, look, things didn't go well with Kane. Things weren't handled right. Obviously, he'd had discussions the year before, talking about maybe moving on, but his side weren't good enough, and I think he'll look at that as well in hindsight of how things were dealt with his side. Yeah. And in the end, it didn't happen for him. But the truth of the matter is that Manchester City didn't offer anywhere near what Tottenham wanted. And I think really, looking back on it, I was in the office that day when the deal for Grealish went through. Spoke to someone at Villa, and they said they put that release clause on Grealish because they thought it was never going to get matched. Well, it did. And it turned out it had a huge effect on Harry Kane, because obviously he stayed.
Yeah.
Okay, difficult first few months, but as I say, I think it was a difficult first few months for the club. And obviously when Antonio Conte came in, I mean, look how much leaner he looks, and I think you've got a really happy Harry Kane now. So, yeah, I don't want to speak too early, but I've not heard anything, and I certainly can't envisage anything happening with him as I stand now.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, look, since we last spoke, Michael, I mean, so much has happened at this club, right? I mean, I think one of the last shows we did together, it was, should Spurs have kept Eriksen and Lascelles? I think that's how long ago we're going back now, right? And in that 2 years, I feel like a lot of players have come, they've gone, and if they've not gone, they're on the verge of going. Just quickly on Kane, just want to finish that off. Again, you know me, Michael. A lot of the people who follow me religiously on my show know I don't really do the reports, right? Lots of people put out a million reports every day about players. But one of the reports today is talking about Harry Kane's new contract that could see him retire at Spurs. Do you think there are any legs in that? Would that be a good move from your point of view?
Firstly, what I would say, and I genuinely feel it for you and all fans, when you get all these Spurs accounts now, and they're all doing a fantastic job. Tears this, tears that, reliability this. I mean, drop me out. Yeah. I mean, I'm not completely active on it, and if I have got something, I'll do it. But a very, very simple rule I follow. It's not about being first; it's about being right. And we're very lucky at Tottenham to have some fantastic club-based journalists. Being at Sky, I can't be a necessarily club-based journalist the whole time. You don't need Miss Marple to find out who I support, but I don't just focus on Tottenham Hotspur. Look, if Harry Kane will very likely be speaking to the club this summer with Fabio Paratici and Daniel Levy. Obviously, he's on England duty at the moment. He'll go straight on holiday after that. There's going to be conversations, I'm sure, when he's back. And if that involves a new contract, then fantastic. As I said earlier, there isn't any club I see that matches Harry Kane at the moment. I think I said on Sky Sports News, I did wonder sometimes coming home. I was like, am I being a bit too pro Tottenham? Am I maybe embarrassing myself here? But I'm pleased that actually it came out that he did stay. I didn't like what was being reported. I didn't like the reports, Daniel Levy, you got to sell him. It's the right thing to do. No, it's not the right thing to do. It's not. You don't go into a supermarket, buy a fillet steak for £1, do you? You got to pay £6-7. No one paid the money for Harry Kane. It's as simple as that. Now, this is a completely different Tottenham Hotspur side to what it was last season. So things are looking good now. I think every Spurs fan was pretty flat last year and disillusioned. Yeah. Why can't a player be disillusioned? They've got one career. But I do feel he might have missed the boat of the Manchester Cities or a Liverpool. But we'll wait and see. But now they've got Haaland, I don't see them going back.
Yeah, I agree with you on all of that, Michael. And I think, look, just quickly, I'm seeing a lot of comments. So first of all, thank you very much, because without comments, without people, there's no point in this kind of happening. But I see lots of you are putting in players that you want to speak to Michael about. Are we signing this player? I will get round to talking players with Michael. There's a few things I want to go through first before I give him a bombard of players. But yeah, look, Michael, I think you're absolutely right, mate. I think I've got no problem with journalists saying this is what we've heard. But nowadays, and I don't know if it's a young thing, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but this whole kind of tier one, this is a reliable source. And, the day before it's Bastoni, he wants Spurs, that's his heart. The next day his agent saying he doesn't want to come. They don't. Where do they, from your point of view, as someone in that kind of arena, not as a journalist per se, but what do you make about these people who said we've heard this and our sources? Where are they actually getting their drip-fed information from, or are they just going along with the Joneses?
It's look, as I said before, it's really difficult for anyone just to go on Twitter and read something, then follow. There's a few cheeky people out there at the moment doing fake accounts saying that I said the Bayern Munich wants Son. It's a minefield out there. Ultimately, you can do two things. You can absolutely shut it all down and forget all the noise and just wait. Yeah. Like in the good old days, I'm old enough to remember teletext where it just flashed up that Tottenham had signed someone, or you jump in, you choose what you want to believe. Yeah. As I say, there's some fantastic Tottenham-based journalists out there. Alistair Gold, Dan Kilpatrick, Charlie Eccleshare, there's plenty of them. I've got, we have a good relationship at Sky Italy with Gianluca Damasio, who we speak to, who is writing Antonio Conte's biography. Doesn't get any better than that,
Right,
so
sure.
Doesn't get any closer than that. He was a guest of Fabio and Antonio around Christmas. So I would always keep your eye on the main sources. They're the ones that get attacked by fans the most. But with Sky, we always have to adhere and respect our Premier League club. So we always have to check our information. Agents are there. They've got information they want to put out there, but their transfer fee might be 20% higher than what it is because they're agents. Yeah. You've got to be really careful. And working at Sky, you've got a responsibility of making sure everything is accurate. And obviously, there's a lot of transfer guys out there who don't have a sort of link to a certain television broadcasting channel, so maybe they can get that somewhere pretty quick, and then they've built a fantastic network. So, yeah, I mean, it's a minefield. That's the answer. Yeah. Really. It's not nice. It's not easy, but. And there's different sources out there. You can get different sources from different people. And a lot of it's down to trust, essentially, and who you do trust. There's people before who've given me great information, people before where I think, yeah, you're good, but that wasn't the fee, So you have to be careful. It's not easy. And especially when you're putting something out there, it's a domino effect. Once you put one tweet out there, it goes on and on and on. So you've got to make sure you get it right. Don't be the one to... it could look silly if you whack anything out too early.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, teletext. I remember booking my first ever holiday via teletext. So that shows you something about age. I
just say, you got a comment there from Phil. I'm actually praising Alistair, who's a friend of mine. So I'm not actually criticising him. I've just praised him as one of the best.
I think he's agreeing with you. Maybe.
Right.
If anything, he's probably having a go at me because people always go, "Well, Ali Gold said," and I'm like, I don't care what they've said.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I wait until I see that picture, with a shirt.
Yeah. But look, I get that. Yeah. It is so frustrating. So frustrating. But
no, absolutely,
that's the silly season for you.
It absolutely is. And I mean, look, the window's technically open tomorrow, right? And already Spurs. We'll go to this later, but it feels like Spurs have been linked with every professional footballer in Europe. Before we go on to players and our transfer strategy, let's talk Conte. He's been here. I remember the day he joined. It was my birthday, November the 1st. I remember the day, and it feels like he's been here about 5 years because so much has happened in such a short space of time. We've had temper tantrums. We've had calm interviews. We've had really bad patches of form. We've had brilliant form. The thing I wanted to ask you about was, again, look, I was watching The Overlap with Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. And one of the things that Gary Neville said, which I found really interesting, and I just wanted to see what your version of this was.
Yeah.
Gary Neville said he doesn't see Spurs becoming a force under Conte purely not because of Conte's ability, but because of Conte's longevity in each one of his roles. He said that he tends to be there 2 years. He drives the players into the ground with this kind of military style training. It all goes wrong. He blows up in the media and he's gone. When you look at his tenure, there's this. I don't know about all the meat on the bones, but certainly it looks that way in terms of tenure. But is it going to be different at Spurs? Are him and Levy the right blend? What do you see happening?
Well, firstly, you've brought up a great point because I get and I don't get Gary Neville's point because he's talking from a United perspective where they've just had an interim manager who's decided not to be interim and go to Austria. So that's great interim, that, isn't it? And then they've now got Erik ten Hag, who, okay, they're now saying this guy can stay at Spurs for 5 years, 6 years, and he can rip the club from top to bottom. And I think his argument is that Antonio Conte won't do that. For me, look, I look at it. Antonio Conte would have got Manchester United in the top 4 for me without any shadow of a doubt if he took over Man United last November. They keep saying it's all the players' fault. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, rubbish.
No, I don't.
I think they'd have got United top 4. I really do. It wasn't the strongest league, especially that top 4. So I don't buy that. Now, look, he's going on every single football club Antonio Conte's been at. We've already seen bits of it. You know, I think he probably went a bit too far after the Burnley game, questioning his future. I'm not the man to take this club forward. Look, I remember thinking, Antonio, we get it. We know how average this squad is. We know we've only got Kane and Sonny. Romero was injured. You know, got Hugo. But apart from that, we know it needs work. So please stay. We're not expecting anything this season. So thankfully, you know, it's happened, and Spurs have got top four.
Yeah.
I think for Antonio Conte, though, he's got to be a little bit careful. I mean, he can't keep throwing his dummy is a bit of a, you know, unfair term, but he can't keep leaving after a year or so and getting frustrated. I think there's got to come a time when maybe he does settle down for maybe 3 or 4 seasons. And to be honest with you, in Premier League football, that is long term. It is. So,
you're right.
Let's see how Thomas Tuchel gets on next season with no Roman Abramovich. You know, United have changed their manager again, so let's have a look at that. So and for me, you know, taking my work hat off and putting my club hat on, I don't care about rebuilds and projects and blah blah blah. I want now. Son's 29, 30. Kane's going on 29. It's about now. And just because they've bought Ivan Perisic doesn't mean they're not thinking of the future. They're just they're getting someone in who Antonio Conte really wants, and it's that simple. So, and I look at Tottenham now, and I think they are a serious club. I was devastated when the talks broke down with Conte last summer. I've always been a big Conte fan. So I want it to work for Tottenham. And, you know, look, it has worked so far. To get in the top 4 in his first season, if you'd have said that to me after the Wolves game, you know, the Southampton Wolves defeats, I thought there's no coming back from that. They're really bad defeats. But what a comeback near the end. So well done to him. Well done to the players. And I really honestly think Spurs are going to have a good season. I really do. I feel really positive about it. I've got good thoughts. Everyone at the club I speak to is in a really good mood. I'm just ready for it, you know. I've got a really good feeling, and it's nice to feel excited.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk to you about then, now I've got your feelings on Conte, is before we go into our transfer strategy and how much we're going to spend and all the players, you know me, I sit on the fence, right? Well, sometimes I go too far the other way. But this announcement that came out a couple of weeks ago from ENIC, for me, it felt brilliantly timed. It felt like a PR masterstroke. Just got Champions League. It got the fans right in the buoyant mood.
Yeah.
What was it when you first read it? Be honest. What was your honest opinion? Did you? Because I get fans on here, right, that will go, Savva, we've got 150 million plus Champions League money plus 100 million for selling players. We're going to spend 300 million pounds. We're going to challenge Man City. I read it slightly different. That okay, there's going to be a lot of money put into the club, but not all on the playing side. So I'm not expecting this amazing summer. I'm expecting a good summer, but not an amazing summer. How did you read that? And has your thought changed since you first read it?
Well, firstly, you know, I know it's like a kind of Football Manager fancy kind of thing. How much have we got? I wouldn't put a figure on it. I'd just say Tottenham have been given investment this summer to strengthen the squad. You know, the 150 million they've announced, sure. But then people say, well, yeah, you know, then they got 115 million from the Premier League, 105 million from last season, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll sell Ndombele for 10 million. It's up to you how you perceive how much Tottenham are going to spend. I would just sum it up very easily and say Tottenham are going to try and spend big this summer. And I saw comments the other day, just because the Bastoni deal looks like it's going to fall through. It was doom and gloom again. I mean, I have to say to everyone on here, Tottenham did everything. He is Inter through and through. And I'm not saying the deal was 100% dead, but they were ready for it. You know, that's their number one target. Every player Antonio Conte wants this summer, they will back him. I think that's great. Now, we can argue all day long about what ENIC have done before, what they haven't done before. I get it. I just feel that it's time for us all to now look forward, get excited. We know there's been mistakes in recruitment. There's no such thing as a club who doesn't make mistakes in recruitment. You look at Chelsea. Lukaku could be going out on loan this summer.
Yeah.
How many strikers have they wiped off who've not made it? You know, crazy. I would just look at it. Okay, they have to write the 150 million. I say it easy. Tottenham have got significant investment this summer. And of course, you know, Tottenham are probably the worst hit club with COVID. You know, that stadium by now would have had a sponsorship, the naming rights. But the world has changed economically. Yeah. There's still a recovery going on.
Sure.
But I think there's a general acceptance with the whole football club that they really do need to push on. My biggest criticism of the football club was when they were in the Champions League under Pochettino. It's a very simple thing. If you stand still, you're going to go backwards.
Sure.
Liverpool obviously their recruitment has been really good. They sold the Coutinho. They replaced him brilliantly. They're now on another planet. But, you know, we beat them 4-1 at Wembley. But
yeah, I remember that.
I think Tottenham might have learnt their lesson from that because they kind of did stand still, you know, and I think there's a general acceptance in the club that they do need to invest, and the answer is they will invest.
Okay. So I mean, one of the things I've been preaching, so to speak, is I don't care how much is spent, Michael. I mean, obviously, if there's only 50 million spent, I'm not expecting a lot, but I don't think it matters when people are talking about, is it 200, is it 300, 150? For me, I feel like there's a lot of clever deals that could be done out there without spending ridiculous money. And looking at all the players that are on a free, I don't know about you, but I can't really remember another season, another summer that I've gone into thinking, there's a lot of players here that could really strengthen us without going big. Do you think that might be a Spurs strategy? Not just with Perisic and Forster, but with the likes of Kessie, if that falls through at Barcelona, and Eriksen, players like that. Could that be a strategy we see?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look, I think, you know, the original target was Sam Johnston at West Brom. But my understanding is he's been offered a number one spot at another club.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to happen, or that's just what I was told.
Right.
But Fraser Forster, for me, again, people can disagree. That's fine. But next season, Spurs are in the Champions League. So they don't necessarily need a number one on the bench who's going to get itchy feet. Why am I not playing? You know, I'm telling you now, and I don't care if I get disagreements about this, people underestimate Hugo Lloris. I know he makes mistakes, but he is going to be bloody tough to replace. Don't forget with Eriksen, people used to say, oh, he can't take a corner. Yeah, but he can do pretty much everything else. So I'm telling you, he's an elite goalkeeper who will take time to replace. Next season, he'll play in the Champions League and the league. Now, touch wood, he doesn't get injured. If he does, I think Fraser Forster's a more than adequate goalkeeper. Pierluigi Bellini was, I'd say is, but it was one of the most popular characters in the dressing room. He apparently
because he's a rapper.
Well, he was hilarious. It was his Spotify that they were playing Champions League music at Norwich. He was a real character. But that doesn't keep you a clean sheet at home to Bayern Munich, does it, next season? So there's only a certain way you can go with that. So I think Tottenham have replaced him adequately. English goalkeeper, knows the league, knows Europe. I have no problem with that. Ivan Perisic, let's not waste anyone's time. Great signing. Ticks every single box. He's a winner. Fans will love him. It looks like he's getting fitter. You only have to look at Luka Modric. Age is irrelevant. I mean, I'm 36. I'm blowing out my backside after half an hour. He's a proper athlete. And what he's going to do in that change room. Talk about Harry Kane earlier. Harry's going to go, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to see.
Do you know what? That's one of the big things I've said for years, right? Is it's not only about us fans and what we want to see, because as football fans, right, of Tottenham, we all look at it and go, we want these big name signings. We want that. But more than that, I've always said, imagine if you're Kane and Son and you're reporting back for first day of pre-season and you look over there and you go, and no offence to some of these players, but you're looking over and going, okay, Galini, who was dropped from Atalanta, Emerson Royal, you know, Brian Hill's a kid, as opposed to, oh, hang on, there's even Perisic, you know, played in World Cup finals and won Champions League. So do you think there's that element of again, you said it, Son's going to be 30 this year.
Yeah.
Kane's 29 in about a month.
Yeah.
it's now or never, surely, with those two, right? Because we don't want to get to the point where 2 years down the line we've not won anything, and now we need to not only build another team, but we need to replace two of the best forwards in European football.
I'm going to go. I think Tottenham. I think Tottenham could finish third next season. I really do.
Okay.
I think everything is. I just like everything I'm hearing. I love the manager. I love the players. I like the players they're going for. I think Arsenal are going to really struggle with the Europa League. I think Chelsea could struggle with the new ownership. I don't know anything about the new owners, but Abramovich is going. Gone. So it's all positive. Now, Tottenham doesn't mean they're going to just sign more free transfers. It just turns out that, look, Perisic is a free transfer in the sense that they've not given Inter Milan any money, but he's come on a big contract and big signing.
Of course.
It's not really a free per se.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be good. They know what they want. They know where they need. The last time I spoke to someone in the club, admittedly, was before the end of the season, but I think it was after the Arsenal lost to Newcastle, so there was a hope that Tottenham would finish fourth. That the hope would be that they'd sort maybe the defence out first,
okay,
and then they'll see what we're looking at attack wise as Bergwijn gone, maybe one or two others moving on, then they'll attack, but. It's all good to go. All good to go. But these things take time. I mean, I know people are impatient, but it is only June the 9th.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, moving on nicely, this is exactly what I was going to talk to you about. And Paul, I just want to say a big thank you to Paul, because Paul puts together all my thumbnails and he did my video for me, and he won't let me pay him. So thank you, Paul. Perisic, right? So yeah, look, absolutely. I don't think there's a single Spurs fan that has gone, "Oh, I don't want Perisic," or why him? Where do you think? Because this is the conversation with Perisic, right? Has he been bought for that left wing back role, or do you see him being more of a further up the pitch, chipping in with goals, or is it his versatility which is making him so attractive?
I think you've just answered it. I think it's the versatility, but I think predominantly. I think, both wing fullbacks need major service. And I think left wing back will be his position. So the good thing about it is that if there's an injury to somewhere else and they can maybe push him on the left wing, but what's Ryan Sessegnon going to do the first day back in pre-season? He's going to be like, this is great. Look at who I've got to look up to, Brilliant. It just ticks every box, But yeah, you're right. There is a versatility, but knowing what I hear for Conte, he wants better fullbacks. I think that, I was sitting there some home games and Reguilon, who does bomb down the wing in fairness to the guy, but when he gets in the box, powder puff shots,
right?
Not convict, It's a shame because when he first started under Mourinho, I loved him. But I don't know.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he could be the odd man out here. But Conte's system, it's imperative the fullbacks are top class.
Yeah,
top class player, top class system, and I think it will be left wing back.
Okay, so. If I know you're on a tight timescale, Michael, so just want to go through some players, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's do incomings and then we'll do outgoings. Yeah, let's do
it. Perfect. And I just want to say to anyone in the chat, listen, this is Michael's opinion. This is not Sky Sports. This is not Michael saying go and put your money on it. This is happening. This is just Michael as a possible Spurs fan. We're not allowed to confirm, giving his opinion. So look, let me start with a couple of obvious ones, Michael. Look. We touched on it already. Bastoni had everyone going nuts. He's a quality centre-half that fills that left centre-half position.
Yeah.
His agent came out and said he's going to stay. Do you see in any way in which that can be turned in your experience? Can these things change their mind?
At the moment, no.
Right.
He's an Inter boy through and through. He's a young lad. His family are with him. I think it's just a little bit too early. So, as I said to you earlier, they've tried everything.
Yeah.
This is nothing. No moaning, please. There's not from anyone. Spurs were in the mix, and I get the impression speaking to a couple of my Italian colleagues, I think Inter wouldn't have minded the deal going through because they still have a few money issues. But what Inter will do now, well, obviously they'll look to sell maybe fringe players. But yeah, as it stands, I don't think that's going to happen now. It's a shame because he looks a very good player.
Okay, so the next one, this guy has jumped in. He's literally next on my list. Lots and lots of talk, especially towards the end of the season with Kostic doing so well with Frankfurt in the in the Europa League. Yeah. Again, I don't know sometimes whether it's just more fans hopeful or there's reports. Have you heard anything? Is he a player you like? Would he fit Conte's system?
Well, he had a great year, didn't he, in the Europa League? For a mid-table German side to win the Europa League. I think that there is interest in him, and I don't think that shied away, even though Perisic came in. The last I spoke to someone on him, they thought he was going to Italy, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, and completely honest with you all. I don't have an update on him. I've not heard anything since I think Juventus were interested, but I don't think they've signed him as of yet. And I've not heard anything from the Tottenham side about any developing interest there. But look, I think you don't, it's pretty clear what Tottenham want and need. It is a left centre back.
Yeah.
But hey, Ben Davies the other day for Wales. I mean, out of 10 performance against Ukraine. I want to see home nations do well, but it was a bit of sweet. I wanted to see Ukraine go through as well. I don't believe we should just throw Ukraine into the World Cup. No. But I wanted to see him go through. But Ben Davies was fantastic. And maybe we've finally seen where Ben Davies should have been for all these years at Tottenham. They say, he's too slow down that wing, blah, blah, blah. That left centre, pretty consistent. So he's had a very good season.
Yeah, for me, definitely Ben Davies for me is the ultimate, and this could be taken disrespectfully, but I think he's the ultimate squad player. You don't ever see anything bad about Ben Davies in the press. He can play left back, left wing back, left centre back. He's definitely in the squad, but I mean, me personally, I'd like to see better there. But look, let's move on. I want this next guy to sign more than anything. I'd quit my job if it meant that this guy re-signed. Where are you with Christian Eriksen? Because I think the one thing missing from Tottenham Hotspur, the one thing, Michael, it's quite a bit missing, but the biggest thing for me is a player in the middle of the park that can actually put his foot on the ball, spray it about, and just oozes that kind of class to dictate a game. Tell me you've spoken to Christian yourself and he's joining tomorrow, please. We've lost your sound.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, mate. Go on.
I have spoken to Christian. I did the Brentford Player of the Year Q&A awards, and he was the player put up.
Wow!
And I begged him.
Love it.
I've made my feelings pretty clear on social media about Christian Eriksen. I think he's just look. I mean, it's weird. I was in my living room last year on my knees crying because I thought he'd died. So it's very weird that I'm now talking about him coming back. He was, and I know people say down tools, that's fine. But even when he did, he turned games when he came on. Spurs never replaced him. There was no player that found a pass, and his assists were only sort of second to De Bruyne. Phenomenal. Yeah. I think I'm going to get arrested in a minute. Anyway, but literally, he's going to be wanted by pretty much everyone in the Premier League. Right. I saw an argument the other day saying he owes Brentford another year. No, he doesn't. What? Please go on the websites and see where Brentford were and where they were heading before Eriksen got in that team. They were going one way. They were losing game after game after game. He doesn't owe anyone anything. He's had a great 6 months at Brentford. It's lovely. Yeah. If he decides to stay, then great. But he doesn't owe Brentford. He doesn't owe anyone. It's down to him. Tottenham need a creative midfielder. And if Tottenham decide, and if they have decided, because he has got options, then great. But as it stands, Tottenham are one of a number of clubs. He's got offers.
I can imagine.
In abundance.
I can imagine. I mean, I can only think, what would a player like that be worth if he wasn't on a free? And lots of people say, again, I'm with you, Michael. We hear the down tools. Look at that last year. But for me, he made it clear to the club he wanted to go. They kept him against his will. And I think that awful thing that happened to him last year, I see a bloke playing now when he plays for Brentford of Denmark that is almost like just found a new love for his football. And he just looks like he's really enjoying it.
Yeah.
Just quickly before we go on to the next player, I agree. It would be great to see Savva on Sky Sports News. And maybe if I beg Michael the way he begged Christian Eriksen. Moving on, Michael, the next player, Jed Spence is... some of our fans are underwhelmed. Some fans are saying he's the next best thing. What do we know? Is there anything that might happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are judging him on one playoff final. I mean, just, judge the player on the whole season. And I think some people didn't really like the tweet he put out to Neil Warnock. I think it was a bit of fun. I think Tottenham, I would be surprised if Tottenham didn't get this done. And I think if they don't get it done, it might be that they didn't go all out. Forest are going absolutely all out to sign him permanently. Obviously, Jed Spence has got options, but he's currently on holiday after a brilliant season. And can I just say, it's great to see a club like Forest back in the Premier League, back to my childhood. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, he's got options, but he knows there's interest from Tottenham, and Middlesbrough are going to try and put a bit of a bidding war there. So I think that's a bit of a wait and see, that one. But yeah, there's been interest from Tottenham. There's been interest from Tottenham, I think even when he was at Borough, Tottenham watch so many games. And I think Tottenham have got this, they want to recruit a few more from the EFL. There's obviously that kind of worry that maybe they're a bit low on the homegrown quota.
Sure.
And they want to bring in, some quality players from the EFL.
Okay. So, Michael, I know you've got 5 minutes left. So, look, I do appreciate your time. Just before we go on to any outgoings, I'm just going to chuck some names out there and you can tell me if there's any names that you're hearing. So, we've been linked with Pau Torres, Gabriel Jesus, Weston McKennie, Yves Bissouma. Anything in any of those for you, or is there anyone else you'd like to see us sign?
I like Bissouma. I think he dominates midfields whenever I watch him for Brighton. But Brighton they just lost Dan Ashworth to Newcastle. It's really hurt them. I think they're a bit of a wounded animal at the moment. They think clubs are going to now, lions in the pack, going to go for their players. So they'll be hot. He'll be difficult to get. Lamperty, Spurs have liked before. Brighton have said no. I think Tottenham's probably number one choice if they don't get Bastoni. It doesn't look like it now. Probably be Pau Torres, because Giovanni Lo Celso's at Villarreal, and there might be something there. Now, if someone says, "Well, he didn't want to come last season," this is a different Tottenham. They're in the Champions League. They've got Antonio Conte. Villarreal won the Europa League last year. Villarreal, I think, are going in the Conference League next season. So, life changes in football very quickly. So we'll see what happens there. As I say, the left centre-back is the key. Gleeson Bremner is a player as well. They like him as well. So that could be interesting how that goes. Clement Lenier at Barcelona. Barcelona have still got huge financial problems. I know it doesn't look like it when they signed Aubameyang and Armand Traore, but they do have problems. So they're offering him to literally every top European club at the moment. So Maximam, there has been interest there. Paratici likes him. Weston McKennie is a Paratici, but I think Conte agreed on that. There's been no movement on that one. Gabriel Jesus, he's someone I think Spurs have monitored. I think the real interest there has come from Arsenal. I think Edu has offered him maybe the main role. Arsenal need 2 or 3 strikers, not one. So I think they really need to get going on that one. So I think Jesus can play in a number of positions. My worry would be he's got 3 of the best creative midfielders around him. How good is he? I might be being a bit harsh. So that's the incomings. As I say, I still think they're going to keep targeting this left centre half before they go on tour of career. Sure.
Okay, so moving on to outgoings then. I think most Spurs fans pretty much know who's going to go out, but in your opinion, how many are we going to lose and who are they going to be? Who do you think is going out the door this window?
I think Steven Bergwijn will go. I think that's down to the fee. I think Ajax, my last information was that Ajax are just not putting anything what Tottenham want. There's been a few murmurs of Premier League interest. I've not had that firmed up personally. But it wouldn't surprise me because he's a good player. I'm always wary of quotes from abroad because you never hear them yourself. I didn't really like what I read the other day about saying I've not been given a chance. Well, come on, Kane, Son, and Kulusevski, and I think it's, I know we'll remember him for things like the City goal, the Leicester 2 goals, but I still think, he had too many niggling injuries and maybe a move would be the right thing. But I think there's a fear there, not fear, but a fear at Tottenham that there is a really good player there and someone who could really explode. So maybe they could potentially do a deal with a big add-on fee, percentage add-on, and then maybe sell for 23, 24 mil. Ajax have bid about 18 or 19. Spurs want quite a bit more than that. Might take about 24, 25 for him to go. Lucas Moura, there might be some interest from Brazil. Conte quite likes him, and Conte's been very insistent that he needs a big bench. It's 5 subs next year. Do you want to sell Lucas Moura? Is he someone he can bring on on the 70th minute for a bit of pace? Lo Celso, Villarreal, I can see that happening. They've not offered a lot at the moment. That needs to be negotiated. Harry Winks is available. No concrete bids as of yet. Joe Rodon, I think, is available. Maybe a season-long loan at a Premier League club if they don't get any offers for him. Reguilon, that's a sticky one because I think there's still a bit of an issue with Madrid and payments there, but I think maybe he could get offered to clubs. Davinson Sanchez is dependent on how many Tottenham get in at centre-half. Did himself plenty of favours with his performances last few games of the season. Don't think they're in a massive rush to sell him. He signed, obviously, it was a big fee at the time from Ajax. The one where I think they could have real problems is Tanguy Ndombele.
Ndombele, yeah.
Hasn't really,
you were going to say that.
Yeah, he hasn't pulled up trees at Lyon. It was a big fee, big wages. That could take some time. So I think I've wrapped up the ins and the outs from what I know so far. Anything new and fresh, you hear it from me or plenty of brilliant Spurs journalists out there.
Mate, listen, anything you get, I expect WhatsApps at any time in the morning with you telling me what's going on. Look, Michael, I know you've got to go, so thank you for giving me that 45 minutes.
My pleasure.
Pleasure as always. Listen, everybody in the chat, I will be staying around. We'll do some Q&A, but Michael, take care. See you soon. Next time I see you on Sky Sports News, I want you giving us a signing.
Thank you, everyone, and come on, you Spurs.
Yeah. Cheers, Michael. Thank you.
Bud. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Right, everyone. Okay, so we managed to get 45 minutes there out of Michael Bridge. I hope that that was good for people. I think it was really good to get. Michael's very, very good for me because he doesn't say, I definitely know this. He says, I've heard this, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I believe it. And the fact that he is a Tottenham Hotspur fan, I know he can't say it himself because of Sky Sports, but the fact that he is a Tottenham Hotspur fan, it really is good for us Tottenham fans. So pick the bones. What did you make of what Michael said? Are there any questions off the back of that? Did you query anything that he said? Tottenham going all out to get Bastoni. It's not their fault. It is definitely the player who wants to stay. Left centre-back and wing-back's the priority, he's saying. Jesus probably more Arsenal than Spurs. What are your thoughts on that? So I just I'll ask a question to get it going. And look, if anyone's got any questions, please put them in. I'm happy to stream for a while. Tell me in the comments, who thinks that Harry Kane is going to sign a new contract this summer? There's lots of talk about it. It would appear that he's not going to have those suitors that are going to pay the 150 million to get him. Who do you think? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's going to sign a new contract, or are we going to see him run that down and potentially look for a move in the next couple of years? Let's have a look. Yes, Pete, absolutely. Where are the likes? I'm having a look now. There are 76 likes. Come on, guys. I'm getting you Sky Sports News presenters. Surely that gets me some likes. I've got a couple of ex-Spurs players coming on over the next month. So hopefully that might get me some more likes and subscribers. We're up to 746. For those of you who don't know, anyone who's new to the channel, what I have said is once I get to 1,000 subscribers, so we're just under 250 away. over 250 away, I will give away 2 tickets to every Spurs home league game next season. I cannot be nicer than that. And just to put some myths to bed, when YouTubers get to 1,000 subscribers, yes, they can start monetizing. But please don't be fooled. It's not a lot of money. It's pennies. What I have said is that 50% of everything I earn next season in YouTube, I will give to the British Heart Foundation, because I think some things are more important than lining your own pockets. So let me just see if any comments. What have people said? Anybody? Bring up your own subjects. Let's talk Spurs, people. We've got 175 of you in the chat. Happy to answer any question. Bump of K has said he's going to run it down and leave on a free unless we become a serious team. Absolutely. Well, look, we've got Conte. Perisic has come in. Can we now do the next bit, Bump of K? Can we now get to the serious team stature? A Ditcher has said, I don't think Kane will sign the contract. I think he will wait until the end of Carabao Cup. If we win, he will sign. What do we all think of that? Do we believe a Carabao Cup win is the difference between Kane signing a contract or not? Isn't it a bit more than that? Is it a bit less? David Marshall has said, good to hear Pau Torres is number one choice for left centre-back. Yeah, I think it's been widely spread, hasn't it, that Torres going to Spurs, Lo Celso going the other way. But what I love about Michael, he's just honest and he speaks really well. And you'd think so, wouldn't you? He's on TV every day. So Luan Luotia said, can I be honest, Savva? I think Arsenal summer sounds more exciting than Spurs. People discuss, are Arsenal going to have a more exciting summer than Spurs? Here's my question to you. Is exciting, does that mean better? Does exciting equal better? Definitely Kane will sign a new contract. Now Conte's being backed. Ruti too, I want to see him being backed first. I think if he's backed, absolutely. Let's see him backed. I want to see that. Yeah, I really like Michael. He is a great guest. David Marshall says he will sign. Luan is a Man United fan. Welcome. Welcome any fans from any other club. You're always welcome in my streams. I think we can buy him next summer when Ronaldo, leaves as his replacement. Interesting one. I can't imagine that Kane will be 150 million this time next year. He'll be just about to turn 30. Luan, you tell me, Man United, how much would they spend on Harry Kane next year for a 30-year-old with 1 year left on his contract? You tell me. Kelvin Fletcher said, I do, but only after the transfer window. He's going to want to know Spurs are serious about trophies. Yep. How do you get them on? Are you referring to Michael? Let me know if you're referring to Michael, and I'll tell you how I got him on. Dave Raybal, great guest. Yes, and David, I did make you a mod on my channel earlier. I'll take that as a bit of praise for you, and I value your time. Nagina Chowdhury said, really mickle. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. A contract extension with a buyout clause. Big up to yourself, Pete. Pete was on the show last night. Very measured, calm Spurs fan, and a very good friend to me. Audio Artisan has said, he said nothing that Ali Gold and the others haven't already said. Well, this is the thing, Audio. He wasn't coming on to give us breaking news. I think I said that. Michael never pretends that he knows things that he doesn't. He's just given it as a Spurs perspective and little snippets of things he's heard. So, he said to me before the show that he's not going to tell you anything that goes out there and blows your mind, but he's just being honest. Let's have a look. Next time I won't get him on then, Audio. Bridsy or Bridesy 75 has said, would have liked to know why Gio Fee is so low, considering we paid a lot for him and was Villa Player of the Year for half a year. For me, it's because he's not very good at football, would be the honest answer. I think he's been awful at Spurs for 3 years now. All of the managers haven't put trust in him. Conte let him go out on loan. I think that speaks volumes. Dave Clark, I hear 1,000 subs is a salary of 1 million a year. I wish. We're up to 88 likes. Can we get to 100 likes before anything else? 12 of you could just go and smash that like button. Guys, please, the subscribers are important because I do want to do a lot for charity. We're at 748. I'd love to get somewhere near 800. If you haven't subscribed, please do. for any of you that don't know me, don't listen to the rumours you hear on Twitter. What I like to do is I like to have a very interactive show every week. Anyone who will back me up in my comments will tell you that I will always go through comments. I will get people involved, and we will start some good debates. We've got Michael. Michael was on just now. In a couple of weeks, we've got a few ex-Spurs players coming on, and we'll continue to do that next season. So please, please, please smash that subscribe button, and it is much appreciated. Let's get back to your comments. Jed Spence versus Wilfred Singo. If you had to sign one, who would it be? Mine would definitely be Wilfred Singo. I think Spence is okay, but again, I think there's a lot of hype around him. Coach Silver, hello, mate. Hope you are well this afternoon. Actually sounds like Levy is listening to free deals and the outgoings. Agreed with left centre-back, 2 wing-backs, creative mid. Kane will sign if we get a good window and Conte is happy. Yep. Fair play, Savva. Always fair play, Savva. At Savva Talks Spurs, are you doing a fan show in the future? D-Trex, what do you mean? I see that means different things to different people. Can you tell me what you mean? And I'll probably do it. You know me. I'm not afraid to take on all comers. Bring it on. Parateacher will be a busy man. Hope his phone doesn't break down. Simon, I get the feeling that even Daniel Levy won't be tight enough to not buy him a few burner phones. Scott Hyman has said, I think Kane will wait until he knows if Conte will stay on. Seems to be the running thing. David Marshall, first show I've watched of your Savva, top stuff. Thank you, David. You are welcome back anytime. Have you subscribed, David? Have you subscribed? I hope so. We're at 749 subscribers. We are up to 94 likes. If we can get those going up, that would be great. Jim Bird Coys, if you are in the chat, did your Spurs shirt arrive today? I ordered it yesterday morning. Spurs said it will be 1 to 2 days, so I'm hoping that it came today. Okay, you think you'll buy Kane next summer? It's written in the stars. How much for, Luan? Tell me how much for. What are you paying for him? Aditya, Carabao Cup for Spurs is a big achievement. He just wants to win some medals. If he gets medals, he'll stay. Look, I'm not knocking the Carabao Cup. I think it's important Spurs win a cup of any type very soon. We have fans that were belittling Roma for winning a Conference League that we couldn't get out of. We were belittling West Ham for getting happy about getting to a semi-final of a Europa. But we've never done that. So, interesting times. Can Kane turn down a big money move? Coin flip. Well, that's the question, isn't it? Ken 11, hello to you, has said, I think Kane will wait till next summer to see the situation. Again, yeah, we're seeing that. That seems to be the topic. Feel free to chuck in any questions about anything. We don't just have to talk about Harry Kane and his contract. Rubbish Arsenal will run even worse. Okay. Dave Clark has said Kane knows he can't guarantee trophies now as City don't want him, nor do Liverpool. So we'll run his contract down, then go to Europe for a few years. Interesting take. Not America. Don't think he'll go to America. Yes, all my shows are for fans and fans going on. So yes, I think Kane will see the club match his ambition. Tom, I think I speak for all. That's all we've ever wanted. As an ENIC out man myself, all I've ever wanted is for them to back and show some ambition. So let's hope this is that summer. Terry Wright, I think Kane missed his big opportunity last summer. I think he'll re-sign at some point. I think he might know that as well. I really think he might know that. I don't know who'd be able to afford him right now. I don't know where he could go. So I think he's going to stay. He'll be happy. And let's kick on with Conte. Right. Yes, better. I think Arsenal will have a better summer than Spurs. Okay, let's see. I mean, look, what I would say is Arsenal have to have a good summer, right, for them. They've really got to do some work to fill out that squad. You know, as Michael said, they need 2 or 3 forwards. Lacazette today signed for Lyon again. So that leaves their only registered striker as Eddie Nketiah. Can you imagine if that was our only registered striker? Maxwell has said, have to wait until the end of the month to see if Conte is actually being backed. I agree. You have to wait. The next couple of months are going to be huge to see if he's backed. Luan, why would Kane go to Man United? Is there a step back? Shots fired against Man United. Dave, no, cheers. Thank you to you. You're always in the show. You're always polite. You always ask good questions. So no, thank you. Thank you very much to you, not to me. So we have got 97 likes, people. We are flying at the moment. So I thank you for that. And we have got 750 subscribers. Can I please ask? I won't mention it for a while. Can anyone in this stream right now who has not subscribed, please just go and hit that subscribe button and see if we can get nearer 800. And then I can start doing more giveaways and we get more money to charity. How did I get Michael Bridge on? Michael Bridge, I used to do shows with a couple of years ago on my old podcast. Stayed in touch. Good guy. Always happy to have a chat on WhatsApp, and asked him if he'd come on. And he said he'd give me some of his time. So here he is. He stuck to his word. He's a good guy. Why would Kane join another project? I guess you're talking about Man United. Who knows? Would he? Would he not? Don't know. Arsenal will have a better summer and still finish below Spurs. Could happen. Pete, you say you're a very tired Spurs fan. Yeah, you get up at ridiculous o'clock and you were up quite late. We love a shirt seller, Savva. Real Madrid spent over 100 million on Hazard with 1 year left on his contract. They did. I'm not knocking that. Does Kane sell you that many shirts? I'm not doubting that. So I'm just saying, how many does Kane sell you? What do you think? I think Kane will extend his contract. Aditya, can you come on StreamYard? I'll let you on in a bit, mate. Big up Savva. Yeah, Louis, always big up Savva. Always big up Savva. I try my best. I try to be streaming as much as possible. And since I asked for more subscribers, not one person did. Thank you all. It's lovely of you. Let me just... where are we? Let me see if I can put this into the chat. There we go. See if we got that. David Clark has said, look, I'm no rocket scientist, but it's obvious. Kane will wait until he sees who signs and then make his mind up. I can't disagree with that. But actually, I can disagree with that. I think in terms of signing a contract, yes. But I still can't see, even if he wanted to leave, I can't see where he'd leave to. So I'm guessing you're saying he'll just run down his contract, right? Agreed, yeah. Do people want Michael to make stuff up? I agree. So apologies to the person who wasn't happy with Michael coming and not telling us stuff that we've already been told. But he was open and honest, and I thought it was a good chat. We missed out on Nunes this summer. We need strikers. Yeah, you're talking about Man United. Hopefully, Lo Celso is part of a Torres swap. That's what I am hoping as well. I'm not even going to begin to pronounce your name. Shazar. I wouldn't take Richarlison at Spurs. He's not for me. I think he's a decent player. I don't know. There's just something I can't get on board with when it comes to Richarlison. Can someone in my chat tell me, does anyone think that as well? Does anyone else look at him and think, yeah, he's not for me? Or is that just Savva? Tell me. It might just be me. David Martin said, if Conte stays and we challenge for trophies and strengthen, then Kane will sign a new contract. Yes, I agree with this. Come on, like and subscribe. It doesn't. That's the problem. It doesn't cost anything. You literally just have to hit a button. Let's have a look. True Blue, hello mate. Breaking news: we just appointed Rangers chief scout as assistant performance director. Yeah, not another one that makes me go wow. Have Rangers plucked any unknowns that have gone on to be brilliant? How long's he been there? What's his background? I guess we'll have a look after the show. MJ Marquez said, who would be for you the forward we should buy? For me, I've said this many times, I want someone like a Berardi or a Jesus, someone that can play across the three. I don't believe that we just want a big target man. I think we need someone who can play across the three positions. GLC is a quality footballer. Didn't work out here, but he is a better player than many we have, including players that start for us. I'm sorry, I just can't agree with that at all. Scott, I like most of your opinions. I think Giovanni Lo Celso doesn't particularly have a good skill set. He's made of, as my friend says, he's made of broken biscuits. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't assist. His passing's okay. I don't know what he does. He's not for me. Sorry. He's just not for me. I agree with that. He is better suited to La Liga, but even then, I don't think he's pulled up trees. I don't know what he does. Dtrex Kane said, for the fan show, I mean, like putting the link in the chat and anyone can join and have a conversation or debate with you. I mean, I just don't even know where to begin with that. I can only imagine that if I did that, I'd get so many people wanting to troll me. Are you talking kind of like what Bob Spur does? Big up Bob Spur, wherever he is. Great guy, Bob Spur. I could do. I'll have if that is that what people want. People want that. I will do it. I just find sometimes when there's 9 or 10 people in the chat, it just goes a bit mad, right? Like everyone's talking over everyone else. Pau Torres would be a big signing. I can't lie. If we get 2 more players before the Korean trip, I'll be happy. Otherwise, I'll be concerned about Levyism, Enochiism. Yeah, for me, I almost think we need more than 2 more. I think there's, we need centre backs, wing backs. We need some creativity. We need forwards. I think there's a lot needed before we go to Korea. As interim financial issues, is there any other players you would like to sign from them? Yeah, most of their 11, to be honest. Barella, fantastic player. Skriniar, I take De Vries. Lautaro Martinez. I mean, they've got loads of players I'd take. Dumfries. Take lots of them. I don't mind Kane going to Madrid. Okay, I hope you don't mean this season. Bump of Chaos says, you and the Boy Hotspur are the best Spurs channel. Oh, I love the Boy Hotspur. Yeah. I went on his show, didn't I? About 2 months ago, and he's just a really good guy. What I love about him, his way with words is just phenomenal. I just love the way he strings sentences together like a kind of wordsmith. I love it. Whereas I'm probably a bit more South London and but hey, each to their own. Rangers Chief Scout Andy Scolding appointed as assistant. Yeah. Is this a good thing? Why not someone with Premier League experience? I don't know enough about the guy. I don't know his background. But if you were going to look at Rangers, would you say that somebody that's scouted for Rangers is really what we want at Tottenham, where a lot of their players come from like League One and Championship and stuff? So I don't know. Look, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? We have got to 111 likes. Keep it going. Let's reach 150. Let's do this, people. Subscribers, we are at 754. Can you at least get me to 775? Come on, guys. 775. Come on. Free shirt giveaways, ticket giveaways every week. Come on. I can't do much more for you. So far, our window is much better than Arsenal. Yeah. I think they've just signed... someone in the chat will tell me if I'm wrong. Worst thing about YouTubing. They've signed the goalkeeper, right? Was it Turner? I might be making it up. Matt Turner, I want to say, from the USA. I don't want to be negative, Savva, but I can see Spurs going backwards come next summer. Because I think Conte will leave next summer and Levy will get a fan favourite Pochettino back as a replacement. Look, let's worry about that next summer. As long as he's here this year, let's worry about that next summer. I don't want Poch back, just for the record, Luan. So I agree with you on that. I don't want him back. Talking of back, I do want Eriksen back. Yes, I think he's a phenomenal footballer. I look at our squad and it is screaming out for class. It is screaming out for footballers that can get on the ball and create. And somebody said last night, imagine Son and Kane being fed by Eriksen again. That's the dream, surely, right? That's the dream. I don't know why any Spurs fan wouldn't want that to happen, but apparently some people don't. What have we got? Nitin has said, how much do you think Roma Lazio will bid for Ndombele? I mean, I don't know anything about Roma and Lazio bidding for him. Me, I'd bid about 20 million. I think he's useless. I think technically he's wonderful, but I don't just rate footballers on their technical ability. It's about output. attitude, and I think he's lacking in all those areas. So 20, 25, would Levy accept that? I don't know. Luan is waffling. Look, Luan's entitled to his opinion. Again, you've got to remember, not everyone comes at it from a Tottenham Hotspur perspective. So sometimes we have a perspective which is very much, from inside the house rather than from outside looking in. But we'll see. At Teachers Kane, then he runs the risk of having negative delusional fans like you join. Banter. SOF has said, if Spurs can't get Bastoni, I'd take Bramer and Torres as alternatives. For sure. I'd take both of them all day long. I'd take both of them. Perchi, big up to yourself as well. Out there, all the way out there in Spain. How are you today? How's the weather? Savva, which are the players and examples you think we should buy? For me, I want to see clever signings. I want to see players like Basuma with Premier League experience, Cucurella, Christian Eriksen, a Frank Kessie, a Jesus. I want to see clever signings. They don't all have to be world class, but just some good, solid players with good experience. There is so many comments, so thank you for all the comments. I'm trying to get through them all. I always try to. Savva, can you thank me too, please? Dave, thank you. For whatever you want me to thank you for, consider yourself thanked. Subscribe and like. Savva puts a lot of time into this. Yes, he does. And doesn't my fiance hate it? Thank you. Coach Silver, I've posted on my social media accounts to get Spurs family to support you. Thank you very much. That does mean a lot. My old podcast had somewhere in the region of about 10.5, 11,000 subscribers. So if we can get back to anywhere like that, that would be good. Few reports saying we're in for De Jong. There's more chance of us buying Luke De Jong from Barcelona than Frankie. Frankie De Jong, 80 million? Can you see Daniel Levy spending 80 million? Laugh out loud. Arsenal, they make me laugh. Never thought they would do that to me. Fair enough. United fans are deluded. I think United fans slowly have to accept that they're not what they were a decade ago, right? Some of my mates who are Man United fans, they've not quite got there in realising they're not the pride of England anymore. Hands off Alan Saint-Maximin, Newcastle here to take over next season. I mean, that was interesting what Michael said about, Conte being a fan. So we'll see what happens with that. I love how Man United fans talk like it's still the year 2000. Kane isn't leaving Spurs for Europa League flops. Yeah, I hear you. United fans are used to being a top dog. They don't realise how far they've dropped. I think that's the thing. I think what they thought is there'd probably be a small dip a small dip from Ferguson, but then that they'd come back. They got Jose in, who won them trophies. They didn't like that. They then got, didn't Van Gaal win a FA Cup? Didn't like that. Jose didn't like that. Solskjaer didn't like that. Ranić didn't like that. Ten Hag, to be continued. Who would win in a fight between all Spurs YouTubers? Good God, I don't know. I don't think any Spurs YouTubers should ever have a fight. I don't think there's any need for that. But okay. Yes, big up Savva. Thank you. And here it is. Here is my YouTube channel. Come on, get in there. Add some subscribers. We're now currently at 756. Come on, let's get to that 800 mark. I knew you would be, David. I knew you would be. Bradley doesn't see Kane going anywhere right now. Alf, hello, another Man United fan. Alf, as another Man United fan, we've got two of you. There's two of you. Luan reckons that Man United are going to sign Kane next year and that Spurs are going to lose Conte and bring back Poch. What do you think about that from a United perspective? Couldn't care less about United and Woolwich, to be honest. Okay, that's fair enough. But I think it's really important that, I think it's important to get other fans' perspectives on things. Next year, I'm going to do a lot of shows with lots of different fans from other clubs, European shows, Come Can't see Kane signing a deal that doesn't have a Champions League trophy release clause. If he does, he's choosing loyalty over ambition. Would be a real shame for the Premier League top goal scorer on track to not win anything. I think it would be a shame for him to not win anything either. It will be great for him getting to the end of his career saying England's top scorer and the Premier League's top scorer. But what a shame if he didn't win a single trophy. Is Conte too good to fail, or Spurs ultimately not good enough to succeed? Who knows? United will struggle with top 6. I think the key thing for me, Kelvin, is before lots of people make predictions about next season, I think it's really important that we get to the end of the window and actually see what basis we're basing that on. If Man United go out and buy Frankie de Jong, a top striker, another centre-half, some fullback, we don't know. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Sorry, my dog's decided to go outside and chase a pigeon. Such an idiot. I don't want Richarlison, can't stand him. Aaron, I'm with you. There's just something about him I can't get with. Harry Toffolo stood off Spence in the playoff final and he didn't have a clue. Sorry, I've just got what you meant. Clive, I just think there's a lot of smoke being blown here. I think a lot of fans have seen him have a couple of good games against Leicester and Arsenal, and all of a sudden he's a favourite. I'm reserving judgment. If he signs, he signs, but it's not really. I'm not really too bothered. Dave Clark says, no, I don't think he'll run his contract down, but I think he might buy Leighton Orient. Okay, fair enough. Our man has said Richarlison is just an unlikable character despite being decent. I agree. That's a great sentence. That's a great sentence. Our man, have you subscribed? If you haven't, hit that subscribe button. We're now up to 759. Let's get to 800. The race to 800. Here we go. Here's what I'll say. If we get to 800 in this show, in the next 30 minutes, I will give away in this show another Spurs shirt. Another Spurs shirt. Please note, it will need to be the home shirt because the Spurs Club shop at the moment has run out of the purpley one. Can I be fairer than that? A brand new Spurs shirt, if we can get 41 more subscribers, 39 more subscribers in the next half an hour. Alejandro has said, if the Torres swap deal with Gio plus cash doesn't work, I'd try to use him in a deal for Danjuma. I like Danjuma. I mean, to be fair, I think he done really well. He went from Bournemouth where he looked good and he looks exciting for Villarreal. Be interesting to see if anyone takes him and if not, what he does again this year in the league. Yeah, agree, Scott. Not that keen on Richarlison. Richarlison is a good player, scores goals, but not a proper technical dribbler, playmaker, or speedster. I could go with that. Yeah, I think he's trouble as well. I don't know. He's one of those, right, that when he gets tackled, he goes down, he holds his ankle, and he looks up and he goes, don't he? He gives the old wink. Alf Martin, I like Richarlison. He's one of them players who piss you off, however you love in your team. There is that, i.e. Rudiger. Richarlison carried Everton. However, in my opinion, Spurs would be stupid to sign him as you don't need him. Interesting. Sad to hear Lucas Moura getting sold. I mean, I saw something yesterday that Lucas, I think, posted himself saying that he wanted to stay. Then Michael saying there might be some interest from Brazil. I mean, we'll see, right? I don't mind if he goes. I think he's just been here too long. We've got so many players that feel like they've been here forever. Bradley, you can't win the league with just an 11. Best sentence ever. But you can do well in a tournament format like Champions League and FA Cup, but we still need a squad. I agree with that. Got to have a squad. Hello, R. Sharma, a supporting Spurs fan from India with a South Korean player in his picture. Love it. You've got all of the stereotypes covered there, my friend. Welcome to a UK-based Spurs podcast. Glad to have you here. Perchy, don't do this to me, mate. Come on. Where do I see us finishing this season? I have said all summer, by the way, that's been about 3 weeks or 2 weeks. I am not predicting where we'll finish until I see our transfer business. I think it's a fool's game to guess. Lots of people going already, oh, Man, they'll struggle with this. Well, we don't know what they're going to do. Chelsea are going to struggle. Well, they could go and spend 250 million on top-class players. Ask me in 2 months. SOF has said, how is Kane missing his chance to move? He's free in 2 years, will only be 31, could go to City, Liverpool, or stay in London at Chelsea. I think what people are saying is he's missed the chance at the peak of his career. You know, let's be fair. If you add another 2 years to his legs, between now and then, there could be a massive... You just don't know. For me, I think he missed the big chance. Will he be the same player? Again, I'm just asking questions, mate. I don't know the answer to that question. You don't. None of us do. So we'll see. An update on the subscribers. We are now at 761. 39 more. I give away a Spurs shirt. I cannot be nicer than that. And I'll go for the elite Spurs shirt as well. The £130 Spurs shirt. Jesus, versatility is great. My sort of signing. Bang on. Yeah, me too. Rooty too. I'm with you on Richarlison. Attitude problems, inconsistent, can be trouble. I agree. I do not want him. More on Richarlison. Richarlison is not for me. I don't think he'd be a fit. Stephen has also said, I agree. Richarlison's a bit of a sulker. Oh, we're going through a Richarlison phase. Richarlison's a good footballer, but his character is appalling. He's a selfish cheat and just moans when things go against him. Yes. Yeah, I don't want him at this club. Scott, I like the little bromance between you two guys. Can I ask, are you both Canadians? Are you both out there in Canada? Just asking. I think neither of you might be, but I've got a feeling. Tom, I think Kane could have been of interest to Bayern Munich with Lewandowski leaving, but who knows? Interesting one, that. Let's see. Let's hope that doesn't come true. Lo Celso, stiff one-footed player. I agree. I don't see what fans see in him. He can't run. His passing's okay, as I said. He doesn't create. He doesn't score goals. I keep hearing we don't play him in the right position. I've seen him play everywhere for Spurs and he never looks good. Not for me. Paul, what are we referring to? We're referring to letting lots of people in the chat. If that's, yeah, I can just see how that would go. Do what We Are Tottenham TV do, where they let people join and give their opinion on anything. Yeah, I will do. I'll tell you my concern with doing that, and is I've got a lot of haters from when I was on before, and a lot of people will troll me and get me thrown off. So I need to be careful. Put the link up, but I just want to say hi rather than debate football. I'll put the link up in a bit. I always thought Gio played within himself, didn't really push the boat out. I just don't think there was anywhere to go for him. I just don't think he's that good. Brian, hello, Brian, has said, hi, Sav, great content. What are your thoughts on Scamacca? I like Scamacca. I like Sassuolo. I like the way they play. I like their recruitment. They're never going to be one of the big boys of Italian football, but they've got some good players. Berardi, Scamacca, I take them both. Yeah. So, Brian, if you haven't subscribed, please do. I've not seen you in my likes before. Still on 761. Looks like my money is safe on a shirt. What's your story, Savva? You used to have a podcast years ago. You say, I used to have the Spursy podcast. Had about 10,500, 11,000 subscribers. Was doing really well. Listen, I wasn't very wise a few years ago. I'd get into all these silly arguments on Twitter. Was a bit silly. Got into unnecessary rows that, you know what it's like. You're rowing and it's innocent. And then the next thing you know, it's just silliness. And it's just not me anymore. I just don't want that in my life. So I took some time away. I came off Twitter. I've not gone back on Twitter. And a few things have happened in my life recently where I realized life's too short. You know, you lose people. I'm getting married this year. I'm having a baby. You know, life changes. So, but I wanted to come back and do a show. Always been my passion. Yeah, Matt Turner. God, that was ages ago. Yeah. Am I that far behind? Yeah, Turner and some Brazilian kid they've bought. No doubt people will be telling me he's generational. You and Boy Hotspur, I hear people say you are like Marmite, but that is because you're brutally honest. Right. I often refer to myself as Marmite. Let me be really honest with you, Coach Silver. When people say I'm controversial, I'm Marmite, no. What I am is honest. What I don't do is please for the sake of pleasing. And hopefully all of you know that. Even some of you I get on really well with. Coach Silver, we got on well. We talk on Instagram as well. We have chats about things away from football. But if you put an opinion in I didn't agree with, just because I like you doesn't mean I'm not going to go, nah, don't like that, disagree. That's who I am. There are people that like everything about Spurs and want everything to be rosy. That's cool. Go and do their thing. It's not Savva, I'm afraid. A motivated Eriksen is dangerous. Yes, he is. Dietrich Kane, GLC at your club would be great. He could get the ball to KDB so he can create. Pep would love him. I hope that's sarcasm. But Matthias said, question, do you think with the World Cup coming on, we are going to lose a lot of players? So what's your expectation of transfers this season? I think we are losing Son and Kane. Sorry, Matty, are you saying we're going to lose Son and Kane this window? Like clubs are going to come in and buy Son and Kane? Can you just confirm what you mean? Because if you're saying that, if you are, everyone in the chat, Son and Kane to go in one window. Guys, talk to me. What's your feelings? Both to go in one window. Wow. I can only imagine what would happen. It would kick off. The new stadium wouldn't look so new anymore. People keep wishing Conte leaves Spurs. I don't know who is wishing him to leave Spurs. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone wish him to. Kirst, how are you? Are you well? I did see your message earlier, by the way. Yes, I will respond. But yes, thank you for popping by and saying hello. Here we go. So, Luan, your team, United, get enough trouble. I'd be worried about them if I were you. Yeah. I think United have got a lot to do, but nothing a good few windows can't sort out. Let's see what they do this window, then next summer. Will United be back? Talk to me, people. Are we going to see Man U again in the next 10 years as the Man U we saw under Ferguson? Or are they just going to kind of mesh in with the rest of us that want to get third, fourth, fifth, sixth? What do you reckon? Armin, to add to that, this version of Son is better version than the one that previously played with Eriksen. Yeah. I would love to see Eriksen supplying those two. If this was 2016, that would be the dream. But at its current level, no, Eriksen is not the dream for me. When we're saying at his current level, as Michael just said on the chat, did you see what he just transformed Brentford? Oh, he's class. I've watched him in his last couple of games for Denmark as well. He looks quality. He's got that bite back. He looks quality. So I can't, again, respect your opinion, but completely disagreeing with it. Arsenal signed trustee. Eriksen back revives the desk link up. Yes, it does. Let's get him back. Get him back. I'm the biggest advocate of getting Christian Eriksen back. I don't care who knows it. Fabian Ruiz is available for 30 million. Yeah, Fabian Ruiz is a funny one, isn't he? He's a good player, him. I don't know. Is he on Spurs' radar? Does he fit in with what Conte wants? All of the important questions. I actually see Pochettino returning. I don't know when. That's my fear. I don't want this guy back. I don't see him as a winner. I think right place, right time, right 11. He's not a winner for me. Apologies. I know I'll get a lot of hate for that. I just don't want him. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. You know what? Sorry, I'm not sorry. I just don't want him at the club. Stephen Bowen, Bremer, Spence, Torres, Eriksen, and Brennan Johnson. That's the window. Brennan Johnson is exciting. He'd be a good addition to the squad. Torres, Eriksen, Bremer. Yeah, listen. Yeah, I'd take that as a window for sure. 754 subscribers. Let's see how long ago that was. Let's see where we are. So it was a 754 when that post was put on. We're on 765. 35 more for a Spurs shirt for one person in this chat. One person in this chat will win a Spurs shirt if I get 35 more subs tonight. P.O. Block, you're so right about Luan. Okay. Aaron, big up Uncle A. I can't see anyone buying Ndombele. Another loan is probably the best thing financially for Spurs. I can't see anyone buying him either. I can't see anyone buying him probably for what Daniel Levy will want. Now, if we put the price and went 20, 25 million, I think you're probably going to get a few takers. What would he want? Tell me, Dave. What would Levy want for Ndombele? bearing in mind it was somewhere in the region of 55 to 65. Excuse me. I'm sorry to see you go down the route of the narcissist Spurs YouTuber. I'm sorry to see you go down the route of the narcissist Spurs YouTuber clique with Brian Dougal, Bob Spur, and the rest of those Muppets who ban anyone that doesn't agree with them. They're small time anyways. So Totti N17, first of all, I'm not going down any routes. If you think I'm a narcissist, your opinion. I don't think I am. I think I give everyone a platform. And Brian Dougal and Bob Spur are good guys. So I'm sorry, I won't have anything bad said about them on my show. Look, if you don't like it, I'm not being rude, but you don't have to watch. But listen, I will do content with anyone. I don't care. I do content with Last Word on Spurs. I do content with anyone. But I just don't feel there's any need for that. Part one, if you do not win anything major with the group of players that you have had over the years, like Kane, Son, Eriksen, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Lloris, etc., and with those managers, we'll come back to part two when we get to it. Kirst, your show with Ellie was brilliant. Kirst, send me the link so I can have a look. Have a look. I like Ellie as well, so if you could send me that link. Kirst, what do you reckon? What about we get some females in the show next week? You and Ellie come on the show. We do a Spurs show. What do you reckon? Savva, what about Molina as right wing back? I'll be honest, I haven't seen him. I might have in passing, but I don't know him well enough to give you an answer, I'm afraid. But a lot of people keep telling me. Kirst, let me know. Brian Maguire, what about John Stones or Ake at Man City? I can't see John Stones leaving. I would take John Stones, good ball-playing centre-half, who's maturing nicely. I just want to see a right wing-back signed ASAP. We have to make this happen. I agree. I would like better than Jed Spence, though. Jason Groves, I know Conte has a record of leaving clubs, but correct me if I'm wrong, Chelsea sacked him and he only left Inter because they would not back him. Look, just so you know, when I put that question to Michael earlier, I'm not saying what will happen. I'm just asking the question. I would be happy for Conte to stay for however long and sort this out. But will he? 756. Thanks, Matty. Going on a countdown. Part two. Right. Okay. So this was about if we didn't win with all those players that you had the lot like prime Pochettino, Mourinho, and prime Conte. Do you see it as a massive failure or missed opportunity? First of all, when you say prime Pochettino, I don't think Pochettino is a top class manager. Mourinho wasn't backed and Conte is in his prime. We've got to back him. I do see it. Again, Luan, I'm going to open up a can of worms here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm about to, you're Man U. You won't care. Lots of these people will. I think Pochettino failed by not managing a single trophy. I'm not saying Champions League. I'm saying not winning a cup of any sorts, not winning a Europa League, not winning a League Cup, FA Cup. For me, was disappointing. So, yeah, but that's me. I've got high expectations. Some people just like getting to finals. I want to win. Yes, Kirst, subscribe. Well, we signed bloody Ronaldo last summer. Why can we not sign Kane next summer? I don't think anyone's saying you can't. It's just, would he go to you? I suppose it depends. Where are both clubs next summer? Does Kane sign a contract this summer? That negates that. So let's see. But welcome, Luan. Don't listen to some of the comments. Welcome. I like to see another perspective. I think it's important. Otherwise, it's just all biased to Spurs. Danny Webb, we need the right signings, not the most expensive or best. It's players that suit our system, whether they're £1 or 100 million. Yeah, mate, I agree with you. Do you know what's been thrown at me for years, people? Everyone's known that I've been Nick out for ever since Martin Jol was sacked at half-time, which I thought was awful. I always get thrown at me, you want ENIC out, you must want oil money. Now, let's look at this sensibly. If someone takes us over with oil money, I don't care. I'm a football fan. But that's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for the manager to be backed with the right players. I agree, Danny. And if I look at the last 100 players we've signed, how many of them have actually been any good? That's the problem for me. So, yeah, for me, it's not about how much we spend. I've already said, you think Basuma you could get for about 20 million, Eriksen on a free. Yeah, you get Pau Torres for about 18 million and give them Lo Celso. So that's about 40 million spent, 3 players in. You could do good deals. And we still might. I'm not doubting it. We still might. Aaron said, Aaron, did you see the show last night on Bob Spurs channel? It was, I'll be honest, mate, I don't know if you saw it. It got to me. I actually felt a little bit upset. Had a bit of a tear in my eye watching it, that it had come to that. And as someone that's been in the firing line, not now, because I don't have any gripes with anybody at all. I'm sure somebody will have a gripe with me, but it was really sad to see what happened last night, mate. And I really want all the Spurs community to get together and be as one. It's okay to have disagreements. It's okay to be Enoch in. It's okay to be Enoch out. You know. Good afternoon, Ben. How are you, sir? You well? I saw you in the chats last night of that show as well. Apparently, there's a secret Spurs YouTubers fight club, but they ain't allowed to talk about it. Listen, I'll be honest. I'm going to spread some positivity here. I just want everyone to get along. And even if they don't get along, it just doesn't need to be the constant put down of each other's channel. It doesn't need to be sniping at each other. And some of the things I've seen, like, I'm not on Twitter, but I see a lot of Twitter because I'm in lots of Spurs WhatsApp groups where things are posted. Some of the things I've seen about certain people are disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And people have been hounded off Twitter. You know, it affects people's, you know, their mental health. I just don't agree with it. Don't agree with it. Anyway, let's move forward. United fans living in a time machine. Hello, Lockman. Hello to you. Hashtag back Conte. Yes, that's a good hashtag. Coach Silva would prefer Potter to Poch. Interesting one. Discuss, people. Discuss. Everyone discuss. Perchy, what time are you thinking, my friend? Message me. Have you got you've got Henry's WhatsApp? If not, get my phone number off Henry. I'm not going to give it out over here. Can you imagine that? But get my phone number off Henry and send me a WhatsApp, mate. And we'll sort something out. Even if it's not tomorrow, we can sort something out. I'm always up for a stream. Evening, Savva. I'm a Liverpool fan. Thoughts on Darwin Núñez? Welcome. We've got United fans in. We've got Darlington fans, Newcastle fans, Liverpool fans. Welcome to one and all. Have we got any Gooners in the show? Any Gooners? Welcome to you. If you're here, welcome. Lots of people say to me, right? I'll answer your question in a second, but lots of people say to me, oh, do you hate Chelsea? You hate West Ham, hate Arsenal? I don't hate any of them. And you know why? People are laughing at me. I don't hate them because we need them. It's the rivalries with Arsenal and West Ham and Chelsea that keep you alive as a club. Yeah. I love the rivalry. Yeah. I love the rivalry. I don't hate clubs. Obviously, you don't want them to do well and they're your rivals, but I don't hate clubs. I'd never want to see Arsenal relegated because as a Spurs fan, that's 2 of your best days of the year, right? Is the North London derbies. Don't want to see West Ham relegated. I love going down to the Olympic Stadium and watching Spurs play West Ham and welcoming them to ours. Maybe it's just me. Just arrived. Is it a bridge too far? Savva, you should do a show with Lee Gunner. That would be the dream. I asked Lee. He's not got a lot of time at the moment, but we will hopefully do something next season. I like Lee. Lee's honest. I mean, he's got a fantastic following. He's honest. And look, he wants the best for his club. He's seen success for his club. And what he can't tolerate is people that are celebrating mediocrity. And I agree with him. Why should we celebrate mediocrity? Right, guys, we're only on 132 likes. Let's get that to 150. There's 167 of you in there watching. Am I in any danger of having to buy a Spurs shirt for somebody? We are at 765. We're not going to do it, are we? We're 35 likes off and 25 minutes to go. So unless there's a big ramp up in likes in the next 25 minutes, we're not going to give away a Spurs shirt. The players that we are speculating about will probably not be the players Conte and Perisic bring in. Absolutely. Did anyone see Bentancur and Decky coming? It's sure fun to speculate. I think that's the key thing, Terry. For me, it's why I didn't get excited with Bastoni. It's not that I'm not excited about him as a player. I just don't get excited about anyone joining before I see them holding a shirt. Man United have a toxic dressing room like Spurs had with Gio and Ndombele and Ali. They had to go. Well, look, that's down to Ten Hag. Will he sort it out? Lots of players have gone. I think more will go. I think we'll see a different United, but I do think United fans will have to be patient because the football that Ten Hag wants to implement, you don't implement overnight. It takes time, right? So let's see. Alf said, I think maybe you will sack Conte, he will leave and Poch will come back. However, I don't know, as a Man United fan, I understand how far we have fallen. However, I will still demand high standards. Kane won't join us. I think Alf, look, that's nail on the head. You have fallen far. And it's about how you get back up there. That's the thing, isn't it? Luan, I think we will sign Kane next summer if we get Champions League. You're insistent on this Kane to United link, aren't you? 7:59. Why are you shouting at me, John? Kane also hopefully will beat Greavy's record next season. Yeah, look, he's let's hope he beats it soon. For him, he needs something. Can't not have anything in his career. Imagine signing CR7, Sancho and Varane and still finishing behind trophyless Spurs. Yeah, a lot to be said for that. I mean, I don't think Ronaldo's the same animal. He'll score goals, but his all-round play, he's not involved in games as much. Sancho, I think, is massively overrated. I'm so sorry, everyone. I really think that guy's overrated. And Varane, look, I mean, he's had different partners every week at Man U. Let's see what happens if he gets a settled defence. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Fred Talks Sport. Okay, Fred Talks Sport. Just got to be patient. 3 months left of the window and the money is there. In Conte we trust. Yes, we do. Aaron has said, if he goes to a club in Brazil this year, I'll praise Lucas all summer long. I would like to see him go now. I think it's just time. We've had a lot of players for a lot of years now. I just want to mix it up. David has said, if Kane and Son and Lloris end their career at Spurs without a trophy, then it'll be a stain on Tottenham Hotspur's history. It will. Terrible. Who's to blame for that? Kane will stay in England. He wants to break Shearer's record. You won't get Champions League football, Luan, conference at best for you. Why don't we have that conversation? Kelvin and Luan both come on at the end of the window and we'll have that discussion and we see who's signed who. Luan, what you smoking? Your dealer must be getting you some strong stuff. Let's not talk about that on channels. Transfer window officially opens tomorrow. Feel like it's all heating up for Spurs. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. If anything, for me, I don't feel that it is heating up at the moment. I feel it's quite quiet, but let's hope it heats up. Gal Jura has said, since THFC official took down the Israel flag of apartheid, there's been one or two pro. Do you think we should? Gal, can I dip out of that? I don't listen. As someone who's been in trouble in the past for certain things, I don't really want to get involved in any politics. So I'm gonna just dip out. Sorry. Yeah, let's get Savva to 800 subs, and I'll give away a Spurs shirt. I don't know what more I can do. We're 34 away. It's not going to happen, people. It's not going to happen today. I've liked and subscribed. Savva, big up. Thank you, Arman. You are more than welcome. What will you give away if a non-Spurs fan wins your giveaway? Dave Clark, I can't not let a Spurs fan win my giveaways. Come on. It's got to be a Spurs fan, isn't it? I can send you a Spurs shirt if that's what you want. On a Spurs shirt. Aaron, Let's have a look. Get Lucas gone. Thanks for the time. I do agree. I mean, get out is a bit harsh, but yes, we do need progression. Kelvin said, much respect, Savva, but you say you don't want Richarlison, and that's cool, but you want Maddison, who is also a football diva. I don't see that Maddison's as much as a diva. When I see Maddison playing for Leicester, I don't see him putting the same antics as Richarlison. And I also think he's a much better footballer with a skill set that we need. Attitude and hard work is a master. Richarlison, not sure. Great player nonetheless. We'll disagree. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a good player. But let's see. We've got 20 minutes left. Get any questions in. Get the likes up. Get the subscribes up. We are stuck on 143 likes. Quality. Thank you very much, people. And we are on, what are we on? Subscriber-wise, 766. Yeah, sorry, guys. Anyone who was dreaming of a Spurs shirt, unless there's a huge uplift, it's not going to happen. Lucas still has 2 years to run his contract. Ken, let's see how long Eric 10 months lasts. You going with 10 months, are you? Bridesy, how old is Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski? I think Messi's 34. Sorry, no, 35? Isn't Ronaldo 37 and Lewandowski's 33? I might have made all of them up, but I'm pretty sure I'm close. Listen, can I just say, I don't know if I'm about to jinx this, Coach Silver. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've loved everyone in the comments today. You're all welcome back. There's been no divas in the comments. My stalker hasn't arrived. Promise me, everyone, if my stalker does arrive, that we greet him well. He'll tell you about a photo of me in the shower that wasn't me, but hey, let's see if he arrives. I know you don't rate him, but I reckon Lucas could easily slot into Spanish, French, Italian leagues. I think Lucas could still play in another league. Yeah, I just don't want him at Spurs. Brian, Mr. Daggle, how are you, sir? Good afternoon, one and all. Hope you're all well. All good my end, my friend. How are you? Luan, so Man United's ambition is now is to finish above Spurs. Bayern don't have cash to spend on players like Kane. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine Bayern whacking out 120, 150. Savva, yes, we are both in Canada, although nowhere near to each other. Well, listen, welcome all the way from Canada. Is there a big following for Tottenham in Canada? Are there supporters clubs? What's going on out there for Tottenham? Give me a heads up. Kelvin, he should go to United. That's about your standards. Okay. So Peter Spillane, first time I've seen your podcast. Talk a lot of sense. What about James Ward-Prowse? Peter, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your first appearance. Hit the like and the subscribe button, Peter, and you can come back again. I like James Ward-Prowse. I don't like James Ward-Prowse at 75 million. I feel like if we've got 75 million, that could be spent on two players much better than Ward-Prowse, but he's a good player, no more, no less. Just a fantastic free kick taker. Kane stays in top shape. He's a model professional, doesn't drink, doesn't rely on pace. Ronaldo is 37, Benzema is 34, Louis 33. At 31, Kane won't be finished if he leaves on a free. Wasn't saying he would be. Wasn't saying he would be at all. Let's see if he runs down his contract and goes somewhere at the age of 31. Then fair play to him. Let's just hope when he does, if that does happen, that he's won something before he's gone. Let's have Luan. We cannot win the league with this group of players. No, you absolutely can't. So lots of love for Brian. Alpha said, be good to have a show where a few people can join a stream. Don't have too many of those. Listen, I'm more than happy to do that, Alf. What I don't want, I'm not one of these people where I'll have 10 people on at once. It's just too much for me. Too many people talking over each other and not enough about the comments. So more than happy to do a show. We'll get you on to talk about. I'll tell you what, Alf, come on in a month and talk to me about whatever signings, man, you have made at that point. What do you reckon, mate? Fancy it? Luan, you should be thinking of consolidating and not dropping down the league. Luan, you're brave in a Spurs chat group, but look, thank you, Luan. You know what? You've come in. You've not been rude. You're talking football. I think everyone's just having a bit of good banter with you. Fred talks sport. How do I get in the chat? What, as in come on the show? Well, once I get to know who you are, who you support, I need to know people a little bit first before I let them on. Otherwise, I feel like I'm being trolled. Savva, what is your ideal right wing back target for Spurs? I've said this all along. I'll stay true to it. I would like, and I'm going to murder his name for the 100th time this window, Mela of Atalanta. I think he's a quality player. Let's have a look. Hi, Savva. Gogama. There she is. Always in the streams. Let's have a look. Oh, God, hang on. I've got so many. There you go. Gogama. Hi, Savva. How are you, Gogama? Are you well? You're always in the streams. You're always welcome. Wish you and your new family all the best, Savva. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate that. We will hopefully everything goes well. It's going to be an interesting 6 months for me. Emma Rogers, we seem to have this curse of never getting our main targets. Dybala, Skriniar, Kessie, Bastoni. We still don't have that pull. I think that's a good point, Emil. I don't think we have the pull that some fans think we have. We may be proven wrong on that, Emil. We may be proven wrong. Let's see what happens by the end of the window. But I agree. I think it's important that we realise we're not serial winners. Players moving to Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United up until recently, they knew they were going to win things. It might not be every year unless you're Man City, but Liverpool and Chelsea every other year are winning things. So have we got that pull? I don't think we have. And again, someone will see that as controversial. Is it controversial or just brutal honesty? It's brutal honesty. People don't like brutal honesty. Lots of Spurs fans, especially the younger ones, Luan, see it that if you say anything that remotely realistic about your club, that it's negative. So when I say things like, I don't think we're going to have a title challenge next year, I get told I'm negative, but I don't see how we make that jump. I sound like your kind of man. I'll take that in a positive way. Thank you. Okay, not getting involved in all that. My first baby, congratulations. Let's not congratulate yet. Somebody has said I'm really far behind in comments. Mate, there are so many comments. I don't know what to do. I don't want to miss out comments. I pride myself on that. Let's have a look. I'm waiting to sign the player that nobody has mentioned. I feel it's going to happen. George, I'd love to see that. You know the signing that comes and not one of the ITKs knew it. That would be great. Alex, my man, how are you? He's back on YouTube. Come on. Yes, he is. How are you, mate? Listen, let's meet up. You've got my number. WhatsApp me. Let's meet up. Let's have a beer. And let's chat Spurs. Hope you're well, mate. Son and Kane aren't going anywhere. God, is that how far behind I am? Sorry, you completely misunderstood my question. I said World Cup. So I don't, Matt, can you ask the question again? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Johnny Be Good, you did miss Michael Bridge. He was a true gent, a lovely guy. We have got the likes up to 150. Do I need to give away a Spurs shirt? No, we are 32 away. As I've said, anyone new in the chat, if we get to 800 subscribers, which is 32 more, I'll give away another Spurs shirt. Thank you. I'd like to think I deserve some happiness. There'll be people that disagree with that. People who can't let the past go, but it is what it is. 70 million I saw for Rashford. I don't know about you guys. And listen, I watched Bob's Spurs show last night, and there was a few of the boys that I really like and stream with saying they take Rashford. Not for me. I don't want him anywhere near this club. I'm a Denmark fan. If we don't go for Marla Eriksen this window, we're daft. I agree, Kirst. Kirst, can you let me know, how are we saying Marla? Marla? Can you let me know? I think he's a quality wing back. And Eriksen, I love Eriksen. Let's get a whole Danish team. Eriksen is in his prime. People seem to think he's past it because he had a heart attack. I agree. Come on, Denmark. Let's have a look. So random, but I was bored and watched Spurs versus Juventus in the Champions League a few years ago. Good game to watch. I thought first half you smashed them. Yeah, that for me was one of the moments when I realised about Poch's limitations as a manager, because we were smashing them. And then they made, I'm going to try and wrap my brain here. They made one substitution that completely threw the game. It completely changed the game in their favour. Can anyone tell me who it was? I don't mind Tielemans, but a lot of Leicester fans that come on here tell me that he's been poor and they don't want him. So we'll see. Eriksen lifts our team 100%. Look at the midfield now. Good, solid players, but nothing special. Yes. He's got that bit of quality, oozing class. That's what we want. I see AC Milan are going for Sanchez. Renato Sanchez, good signing that. I think the Italian league's slowly coming back, guys. I think he is. I agree. Poch lack. Oh, am I about to get all these? Am I about to get cuss loads? What I said about Poch. I agree with you, Daniel. Poch does lack tactically. I think he does. I think he's good with his plan A. I think he's good with the 11. I think when he has to do something else, I just don't see him as a top class manager. And I think he did appallingly at PSG. Yes. Let's have a look. Bob Spur, big up, Savva. I hope you're well, dude. Skriniar, let's try and reignite that interest again. I'm aware it's difficult, but our mindset should be want him. Let's get him. Great show, Bob Spur. Thank you very much, and thank you for doing what you did last night for the Spurs community. Anyone who doesn't know Bob Spur, go and follow. What a guy! Trying to bring harmony to the Spurs community last night. You, sir, are a legend. I watched as much as I could. I literally watched until about 3 a.m., mate. Bob Spur, the only thing I would say about Skriniar, I love him as a centre half. He's just injured himself, and they reckon it's going to be 3 or 4 months, right? But I get it. I would take him. Yeah, you've asked that already. Son and Kane to go in the same window. What's your? I think there was a disconnect in what he said and what I meant. So apologies. So Ben has said, you don't believe what a journo says, then proceed to get a journo on your channel. So Ben, I will block you soon because you are the same guy that was trolling me all last night. Michael comes on as a Spurs fan and actually doesn't turn around and go, this is definitely happening, does he? So if you actually watched it, which I'm guessing you didn't because you've only just commented, you would know what he said. Johnny Be Good. Hello, Johnny. How are you, mate? He said, Poch will be back one day. He and Perez already said, and if you read the statement Levy wrote when he left, it pretty much let you know he returned. Great. I just don't want him. Sorry, I just don't want him. I don't see him as this great manager that so many Spurs fans do. Sorry, that's just me. Man City and Liverpool struggled against Italian managers. Couldn't Ancelotti or Conte? I think that's why City and Liverpool are spending big money. Mate, listen, I can't see anyone. I mean, I don't know. 20 million, I think we'd have 20 million. I think we'd have loads of people buying him. I just can't see Levy giving him away for 20 million. I say giving him away. I can't see him selling him for 20 million. Can you? 768. Yeah, we're still 32 comments off, so we're not giving away a shirt today. Apologies, people. Ban Totti N17. If I come across any more silly comments, I will. I haven't blocked him. I don't know if anyone else has, but I can't see any comments from him. Mate, listen, big yourself up, Brian. You've always been good to me. For me, there's too many beefs going on. There's too many beefs going on in the Spurs community. It doesn't need to be that. I would love it if creators that don't agree went on each other's show. I would love that. Some of the more mainstream shows don't tend to do that. And I'd love it if they did. You know, I'd welcome Matt Hayes to come onto this show and talk about Spurs with him. I'd welcome Last Word on Spurs, people like that. But I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, I'm not sure why I'm narcissist. I don't know where that's come from. I don't know where that came from, but you can't please everyone, Kane. I learnt that. There is interest in Ndombele now from Spain and Italy. Fingers crossed. Kirst, message me on Insta and we'll arrange something with me, you, and Ellie for next week if that works for you girls. That would be great. Want to make sure that we've got the right, we've got everything covered. Diversity, female. I want everything on this show. Alejandro, Bob Spur, Daigle, and Savva literally show every comment on their streams the opposite of silencing everyone who disagrees with them. Listen, I disagree with a lot of what people in my comments say, but I'll always bring it up and have that chat. So yeah, not now. I wouldn't, Jay. Yeah, I wouldn't now, but I mean, what a Rolls Royce of a footballer he was. He was sublime. Great business. I always worry when I see a new person, it just says a user. But hey, let's see where this goes. Love my, I'll let you know, Savva, you're just a decade behind on comments. Listen, Kirst, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to read everyone's out and I just can't get to them quick enough. We are linked to Shakhtar Brazilian Dodo. Yes, I have watched him lately. I did a bit of a YouTube. Again, difficult to tell, but looks technically very good. Yeah, Nathan Ake. Hello, Martin. Yeah, homegrown, big plus. I think, we've got to be wary about the homegrown situation. 31 subscribe. If everyone right now is not subscribed, anyone, please just go and subscribe. A Spurs shirt is up for grabs. A Spurs shirt is up for grabs. Giving away for free. I'll even send it to you and pay for the postage. Out of our left as his legs went. Such a shame, as was class. Yeah, quality player. For me, pound for pound, one of the best signings we've made in the Premier League era. For what we paid and for how good he was at centre-back, he transformed our defence. I love Toby. What a class act. Lovely bloke. Yeah, love him. Perchy, I've just seen your WhatsApp flash up on my phone. So, yeah, I'll WhatsApp you in a bit, mate. But let's have a look. Let's see if I can catch up. Ellie should do her own pod. Yeah, I like Ellie. She's got some great chat. She's got some really good opinions. And Ellie and I don't agree on everything. I've noticed in the last couple of weeks you've been speaking, we don't agree on everything. But what I love about Ellie more than anything, and if she's watching or if she sees this back, big up to you, Ellie. What I love about Ellie is when she gives an answer, she's like me. She adds context. So she doesn't just go, oh, Pau Torres is shit. She'll go, I don't like Pau Torres. I'm not saying she said this, but I don't like that player because X, Y, Z. And she'll actually break it down for you. And I really like that when people do that. Just joined. Big up, Savva. I hope you don't end the stream in 5 minutes. I'll keep going for a little bit. If people aren't bored of me. Yeah, I agree. Ellie's amazing. I love watching her on any stream she's on doing with her. Yeah, so for any of you who don't know Ellie, she played for Spurs Ladies a while back. So one of our own. She's one of our own. Where are we? God, there's so many comments. Thank you. This has been the busiest show since I've come back. So I'll keep going. Yeah, Alderweireld went downhill after that hamstring injury. I still remember him unnecessary doing that run on the right from centre-back in the Champions League and pulled up. Again, I'll tell you what, anyone remember this? Anyone remember when we were playing Arsenal away and Pochettino, again, strange decisions for me, that bloke. Pochettino decided that he would drop Toby Alderweireld and play 1-4 at centre-half. And Arsenal went on to score 4 goals. Can you guys bear with me 1 minute? Sorry, this is really unprofessional. I've really got to go and I've actually got to get my washing in. It started to rain. I'm coming back. And for all those who keep asking me about Frank and if he's going to sign, this is Frank. This is my baby. You're a Spurs fan? Is he a Spurs fan? And he's got his own little Spurs shirt, but it's upstairs. So this is little Frank. Say hello to everyone watching. That's Frank. So for all of those who kept asking. Right, let's get back to the football. Apologies. Let's see. So a user has said, in fairness to Poch's defence, he was not backed and all the money and attention was focused on the stadium. He done well with the players he had. Agree we should have at least had a trophy. Yes and no. What I'm hearing from people I know, again, what I know, a lot of people are saying that Poch turned down a lot of players as well that he was offered that were, some of the better names. So we'll see. But for me, he should have got over the line in one of them semis or finals. For me, it was strange decisions at strange times. He did well. He did very well until he didn't. And then our fans did what we always did and went all bunny boiler and we can't believe he's leaving and please come back. And I just, it's weird. Very weird. Let's have a look. I agree with you, Sav. I always felt Poch let the side down when it came to finals with weird selections. Yeah. I mean, if I say Toby Alderweireld in a North London derby dropped, played 1-4 if we conceded 4. He dropped Walker and Lloris in an FA Cup semi-final against Man United. A year later or the year before, he put Son to left wing back in the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Dropping Lucas Moura, who scored a hat-trick to get him to the Champions League final and then dropping him there. Too many strange decisions for me. Not a winner. I'm sorry, not a winner. I'm going to try and catch up with some of the chat. So if I skip loads of comments, I'm so sorry. Noah, welcome to you. Big up Savva. Smash that like button. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If people are not bored, what I will do, I will say this. I will go for another 25 minutes. Right? We are 30 subscribers away. If we get to 800, I will give away a Spurs shirt. If not, we won't. But thank you. There's 159 likes. So thanking you all for everyone who's been in the stream. This has been, I've enjoyed this so much, this stream. Not just with Michael coming on, but afterwards. Everyone's been really cool. There's no one being an idiot, to say the least. And I never thought I'd go see the day when I didn't get trolled. Big up Savva. Yeah, big me up. Nitin said, right, Savva, we don't hate clubs. It's all about rivalry and the competition between the two protagonists that keep us loving football. Yeah, some people absolutely hate, though. Sancho or Kulusevski, I've already said, right, I think that Sancho is massively overrated. I really like Kulusevski. I think he's got more to his game than Sancho, who I think is another one that's just a lot of pace. I could be proved massively wrong this window, but I really, really, really like Kulusevski. Sancho is a system player. In certain systems, he looks great. Too many of these players nowadays. I agree with you. Players seem to be very much, oh, I only do this. But, yeah, we'll see on Sancho. I never understood the hype for Sancho, and United fans hate me for it. Yeah, I agree with you, Alf. I don't understand the hype. Mr. Scrumpy Cousins, big up, Savva. Just finished work. I'll watch the beginning later. Fair play, my man. Just so you know, I did make you a mod earlier. I didn't know if you wanted to be one, but I have made you one. I made a few people mod earlier as well. So, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, I'm not talking about human rights. Lucas said he had heard that they want him to stay. And the day after, the value of him between 12, 15 million comes up. Come on, you know how the football industry works, Johnny Be Good. Sub to Savva, come on, get him to 800. I think you should. Why not? Surely there's got to be some love. Surely. We're 30 away. Spence rumours have gone quiet. I've seen links to Dodo today and opinions on him. As I said, I think it was Johnny Be Good who put me on to. Was it Johnny B? Yeah, it might have been you, Johnny, who put me on to Dodo. I had a little scout about and saw some videos, and he looks good. Really difficult to tell from YouTube videos, but you know, Ndombele looked like a world beater in YouTube videos. But yeah, I think from what I've seen, I'd rather Dodo over Spence, but I just think we'll get the other one. Savva, do you think the game has gone soft and fans are being snowflakes? Oh, for sure. Oh my God. Football fans, it's changed. In my era, football fans were hardened, right? And I'm not talking about fighting, by the way. I'm talking about football fans could have a proper debate. Football fans could, you know, tell the truth. Nowadays, it's just all smoke being blown. You know, people with these outrageous claims of winning leagues and without anything to justify it. So many people, so many people are just silly. Josh, big up to yourself. Yes, I am a realist. So are you. Madison had those tweets about Tottenham. I don't care. I don't care. Get him in. He's class act. What if I unsubscribe and subscribe again 30 times? Would that help? Bob, I don't think that would actually put me up to. I think that would just keep me at the same number, wouldn't it? If I'm using my maths correctly. But we are no, yeah. I think everyone has now subscribed. We're up to 770, but it was worth a try. Savva, what are your thoughts on Højbjerg? I know a lot of fans rated him highly under Jose, but feel like recently has been overhated, although he can be upgraded upon. I'll be honest, I think he had a very good season, especially the back half of the season. I said it the other day. If you look at the last 2 years since he joined, there's been Winks, Sissoko, Skip, Ndombele, Lo Celso, Bentancur and Højbjerg. And who's the one that all the managers have played week in, week out and trusted? Tells a story. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I think Højbjerg is what he is, if that makes sense. He's a solid midfielder that does his job. No bells, no whistles, just solid midfielder who does his job. Yeah, my stalker is probably at McDonald's. As long as he brings me some nuggets when he comes around my house. So who will have a bigger legacy, Vardy or Kane? Right, I know where you're going with this. Difficult. If we're looking at legacy in terms of goals, then it's Kane. If we're looking at legacy in terms of winning things, then Jamie Vardy, what a story he's got. Non-league to Premier League in about 3 years. Won the league, won the FA Cup, played for England. It's a great story. Oh, no, you don't. It's a silly photo from years ago on Twitter of someone pretending to be me. At one point, I think we counted that there was about 9 fake accounts about me at one time. And the problem was every tweet that went out, people just believed it was me. Like there was 9 accounts. People going, oh, Savva's got 9. Why would I have 9 accounts? Even to this day, even to this day, Ken, I still see people saying, oh, Savva's on Twitter somewhere. He's got a few hidden accounts. I'm afraid not. Not going to lie, as a rival fan, you're pretty cool. I'll take that, Bargav. Whoever you support, I'll take that. 75 million, James Ward, Maradona. It makes me laugh when people think James Ward-Prowse is going to be 75 million. I would have 3 people on at once. Yeah, I always have 3 people on at once. I just can't ever see myself having like 8, 9 or 10. It's just not me. Kane is staying. Let's have a look. Let's get down. I'm trying to catch up, you see. I'm trying to catch up. Male is pronounced like male, just with an E. Maley. Okay, perfect. I really like him. I think he's a proper right wing back. Would rather Susic from Salzburg, the true heir to Modric. Big shout that. Listen, if anyone's compared to Modric, they've got to be a player, right? Because Modric is one of the best centre mids I've seen. Gogama said, I am, thank you. Hope you're well too, Savva. I missed the beginning. We'll watch later. Yeah, you're more than welcome to. You'll see Michael Bridge giving us 45 minutes of his time. We had this chat the other day. Do I think Arsenal have more pull than Spurs? No, I don't. I don't think they have more pull than Spurs at all. I think up until a few years ago, even if going into last summer, yes, I do. But I think now with Champions League and Conte, I don't think they have. They shouldn't have. It's all about ambition though, right? If Spurs show ambition, I don't think Arsenal will match it. In your opinion, if Kane breaks Greaves' record, does he go down as a better footballer or a better goal scorer? No. Jimmy Greaves, any video I've seen of Jimmy Greaves, and talk to anyone of that ilk, they'll tell you he was one of the best players ever. He was phenomenal. I love Kane, but sorry, no, not for me. Just not for me. At Savva Talks Spurs, how do you think Tottenham can get that pull that elite clubs have? I think you've got to build up to it. I said this on the show last night. Got to build up to it. Get a League Cup. Win an FA Cup. Couple of top players every window. Get rid of the deadwood. But that starts with fans as well. Too many fans wanting to keep deadwood every year. I see it every year at this club. Our fans constantly want to keep deadwood. So for me, it's a slow process. Do I think a title challenge is too far with... Do you think a title challenge is too far with your results? I don't think we're going to challenge for a title. Not yet. I think, first and foremost, we've got to see the ambition. We can't talk about it. We can't just say we're going to have a big window. We need to see it. And then we've got to see it again next year and then the year after. This can't be a one-off if we do this window. It's got to be every year. But no, I don't see us in a title race. It's Danish. It's Danish. You can't pronounce it, Savva. It's okay. Fair enough. I won't try them. Alf, this is my favorite channel for how much you read and involve the fans. Listen, I try my best. I just hate it whenever I'm on shows and lots of people are talking in the chat and then they don't involve them and they'll pick up a comment every now and then, but they should read more out. Just my opinion. But what I will say, it does get harder. The more people you got following you, the more people in each show, it does get difficult. It's easier when it's just me on my own. But when there's more than two people in the guests, it's difficult. I agree, but look at Liverpool. Not many years back, they were in the same position as we are now outside the top four. A few good signings and now they're winning. Yeah, but the thing is, they've changed their whole 25-man squad in that period, other than Milner and Henderson. And Spurs still have so many players that were here years ago. So, and they bought players like Alisson, Van Dijk, proper game changers. Will we ever do that? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you mean like Gil, the one that came out of nowhere? Yeah, a strange signing that for me. Eddie Reiner said, I would love to know where all the rumours come from. Everyone seems to know what players we are not buying. Eddie, who knows, mate? Eddie, who knows? Gives us something to talk about. I talk about any player, right? I just I never get excited when people are, I've seen last week, people putting all memes and GIFs with fucking Bastoni in a Spurs shirt and Conte's making a revolution. And then this week, he's staying at Inter. So I learnt my lesson many years ago. I'd much rather be brutally honest than be honestly brutal. Yeah, absolutely. Well said, John. Have you subscribed, John? Have you subscribed? I hope so, my friend. We are now at 773, so we've done really well today. We may not have got to where we wanted to. Hit that like button if you haven't already. That would be appreciated. Sub to Savva, a free hit. Bang that subscribe button. I like this. You're right, but with Conte, we do have Paul, more Paul than Arsenal, so we have to do the right thing. Conte has Paul, yes, but you've got to remember that players will still look at Spurs and say, okay, we're not a winning team. Yeah, we're not a winning team. So I think we will get players, of course we will, but I think to hit the dizzy heights, I think we need to start winning a few things, winning a cup. Our fans turn their noses up at the Carling Cup. It makes me laugh. Like, we haven't won anything for 14. This time next year will be 15 years if we don't win anything. We're going to go for 15 more minutes, people. Yes, good player. Like Damsgaard. Really good footballer whenever I've seen him play. I'd take him all day long. Is Ten Hag a bigger bottler than Poch because he blew a 3-goal lead in 45 minutes? I don't like the word bottler, if I'm honest. I think every time someone loses, it's, they bottled it. Look, it was just one of those days, wasn't it? It was a great bit of individual play from Lucas Moura to get a hat-trick. I actually think they outplayed us across that semi-final completely, both legs, but these things happen in football. It's not always about bottling. Yeah, I agree. I just do not see how anyone can think he's going to be 70 million. I think Mane is pronounced Maley. Yeah, that's what I've just been told. It's Maley. Yeah, good player, though. If anyone hasn't seen this boy, go and watch him play. Thank you, Countryman. You deserve happiness. Thank you. I do deserve happiness. Paddy said we don't need Rashford or Prowse. They are overpriced, and with that money, we could get far better. Couldn't agree more. Yep, absolutely couldn't agree more. Don't know if Savva will get to this by the time he goes off, but smash the like button, people. I'm catching up, Kirst. I promise you, I'm trying to catch up. Chuckles, this is a football stream, not a political stream. Yeah, come on, let's keep the politicals off this. This is football, right? It's the history of the Tottenham. I don't know what that was in relation to. Yeah, we've had that. We've had that. Where are we? I think I'm nearly catching up, people. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm miles away. No, I'm not. Big up the Perchy. Rashford is done at top level. Levy probably wanted a PR move. For me, I don't think Rashford has ever been top level, if I'm honest. I think so many young English players are so overrated. It's unreal. Spurs fans are doing it with Skip right now. You get a good player and our fans want to make them out to be world class. Rashford was decent, hasn't kicked on. Same with Delhi. So many of them. So look, you're so far. I know I'm behind the comments. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't help it. Coach Silver, yeah, the window opens tomorrow. Be interesting to see the next month or so what we do. I'm expecting some big things. Get your questions in at Savva Talks Spurs. Loving your content and can't wait to make my debut on the channel. Everyone smash and like. Brian, I will message you. We'll sort it out, brother. I've got your number. We will sort it out. Cosmos said, Poch never had a plan B and that cost us so many times. Yeah, he was good. He was good with what he had. But I think, the romantic in people that still want him back. I've just seen him go to PSG. Forget the Champions League. They looked awful under him. They won. They didn't have any real pattern of play. Yeah, not for me. Didn't Henry say that Skriniar is available? Apparently so, but Skriniar's also just got injured for 3 to 4 months. So we'll see. Here she is. Ellie, going to come on and do a show. Me, you, and Kirst. What do you think? How are you? Benny and Højbjerg are both special to the team as they do what Vieira used to do for the scum. Benny has the tricks and footwork. Højbjerg has the solidness of Vieira. Oof, big call that. Big call that. What do you mean? What happened? What happened with what? What happened? Am I that far behind? Let's see if I'm far behind. Oh, my God. I am miles behind, aren't I? Yes, I'm going to try. I am going to try. Thank you for the tips about coaching a few weeks ago. Savva, yeah, you're more than welcome. Let me know if you need any more help. I am miles behind, aren't I? Wow. Oh, I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not getting involved in that. Elliot said, I'm watching my darling. Hang on. Oh, where's it gone? I'm watching my darling and love that you love the XYZ Savva, my Greek Cypriot brother from another mother. Big up to you, Ellie. And thank you for representing Spurs, for the Spurs ladies. Thank you. Where is this guy? Yeah, sorry. I had to. It's Dave. Sorry. Do you know what? It's one of those ones where, like the missus goes into work every day. I work from home. And the last thing she said was, make sure you get the washing out. But then if it rains, bring it in. And I just looked out the window. I went, oh, shit, it's raining. So sorry about that. Yeah, where is this guy? That's not very nice. Yeah, Frank's the... Oh, God, is that how far away I am? All right, I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to fast forward to now. I'm fasting forward. Right, okay. Am I near? Am I near? Let me see. Random thing, but are you scared, worried about Arsenal? No, I'm not. But I would like to see what happens in the window before we talk about finishing above them. Everything about it says we should, but let's see what the window holds. And I know people don't like that. I know people don't like that at all because it's sensible. But let's get to the end of the window and we can say, yeah, we'll definitely finish above them. It's because these Twitter virgins have plenty of fake accounts. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, look, Freddie, for anyone that knows me from years ago, I wasn't an angel. I got myself into some right situations, arguing with people I shouldn't have, swearing, this, that, the other, abusive. I'd go on Twitter when I was drunk. Just, it was a bad look. I'm old and ugly enough to admit it. You move on. Unfortunately, there are people out there that can't move on. Even though it was years ago, I still see posts that are sent to me from Twitter with people talking about me on Twitter. Grown men slagging me off, right? Calling me this, that, the other. But they're the grown men sitting on Twitter talking about me, even though I've been off Twitter for ages. It makes me laugh. What level of player was Greaves playing against, though, compared to Kane? Not having it. I'm sorry. Ask anyone of an age. Jimmy Greaves was ridiculous. He was like the Messi of his time. And this argument of what level of player, but you've got to remember, it's all relative. It's all relative. Kane's playing against players of his level now. Greaves was playing against players of his level then. Greaves was just phenomenal. Greaves was way ahead of the people he was playing against. Him and George Best were 20 years ahead of their time. Mate, from what I've seen, again, of Best as well, just different level to players now. Different level. Listen, I love Harry Kane, but I don't think, and I think a lot of older fans tell you, he's not a patch on Jimmy Greaves. I'm sorry. I've seen that one. Jimmy Greaves was one of the all-time greats. I had the pleasure of watching him live at my last at the Lane, my first game against Devon. I just came over from Ireland, mate. For me, from what I've seen, he looks great. Who will get sacked first, Tuchel or Arteta? Hard to say. Ask me at the end of the window. Again, it's one of those. I want to see who everyone buys. I think I've nearly caught up. Savva, what do you think about the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust? God, this is a a tough one. I found them to be really offish. I found them to be. It's all a big club. Like if you're their mate, they seem to like you. I don't have anything against them. I don't really know them. I don't really know what they've done to help. I don't know. I don't really care, if I'm honest. Apologies. I just don't really have anything against them or for them. Bastoni or Skriniar, both. I like them both. Both very different players, but I really like them both. I was gutted we didn't get Skriniar and instead bought Joe Rodon. No offense to Joe, but I was gutted. So, yeah, I'd take both of them. Let's have a look. Richard Knight, hello, sir. I said, although I'm one for not believing in signings until they're holding up the shirt, Savva, what do you think of Milenkovic? I like Milenkovic, but I've got a feeling Milenkovic of Fiorentina just signed a new contract last year or in the January window, one of the two. Someone confirm that? Can they? The likes, we're at 173 likes. Can we get up to 200? And, we're just going to miss out on this shirt, aren't we, for someone? 776. We're 24 away. Hopefully, some of the time I put in on streams each week, people like me and Henry and Stell and Will, Bob Spur, I hope that some of our time and Iggy, all these people, I hope it's appreciated. You know, it does take a lot of time. And I'll tell you what, you do have a dry mouth once you finish talking about Spurs for a few hours. Freddie has said, it's funny. Hang on, sorry, I've lost that. It's funny, English players, they're either mad overrated like Rashford or very underrated like Tomori. Freddie, I agree. I think the problem is we want players to instantly be amazing in this country. So you watch the next 18-year-old that comes through the Spurs youth team will be, oh my God, he's generational. Have you seen him play? People did it with Parrott. They're doing it with Scarlett. Give them time. Like people always say to me, oh, I'm always knocking youth. I'm not, but let me use Skip as the example. I think Oliver Skip is a decent footballer, right? He can be neat and tidy. He works really hard. Do I think he excels at anything? No. However, he's just broken last year into the first team. So I say, right, let him progress for the next 2 years and we'll see how good he actually is. That gets misconstrued as you don't like youth, you don't know a player. Look, for me, I don't think a player like Skip should be anywhere near our first 11, but that's just me. I've got ambition. So Spurs are reportedly selling Lucas and Bergwijn. If that's true, I want to see proper replacements, not Hill, for sure. I want to see players, as I said earlier, Jesus, Berardi. I want to see James Maddison's. I want to see this ilk of player. That's what I want to see, proper footballers. Can you describe Royal's football ability in 3 words? He is awful. Do you have any players in mind that you wish that Spurs would have signed all these years? Oh my God, how long you got? Yes, Skriniar, Bruno Fernandes, Jack Grealish. There were times, Leandro Demau. Anyone remember that? Anyone remember Demau? I think we nearly signed him for like 9 years in a row. There's been loads of players, mate, down the years I wish we'd signed. So many. Why are we even thinking about Arsenal worse talking about them? We're talking about finishing above them. Would I give away Frank or the pug? The pug is called Stewie, by the way, as in named after Stewie from Family Guy. He's sitting at his bowl right now looking for some food. Once you've reached 2K subs. No, they're my boys. Listen, no. You could say to me now, would I give Frank and Stewie away to win the quadruple with Spurs? Hell no. These are my boys. They make my life so much better. Ugly little things. I saw us being linked to De Jong. I said earlier, more like Luke De Jong than Frankie, sorry. I can't see that we're going to pay that sort of money. Wayne Pumphrey, pressure on the Inter now, Savva, because they have to sell. His agent has put the ball in the court. I don't think it's over. Who knows? Thing is, Inter have got other players they could sell to make money. Lautaro Martinez. Yeah? Couldn't they? Dumfries, Barella. Like, they've got players they could sell. But yeah, look, no one's saying it's completely dead, but at the moment, all I know is that that's what his agent has said. Yeah, Luan, I think when you watch players like George Best play, just the way they made football look so easy was ridiculous. Yeah, Jacob, but this is the thing. I always find it really difficult when people want to compare people from different eras. It's really tough because there's two ways of looking at it, right? We say, oh, they weren't athletes then. They play, how would they have coped in today's game? But let's be fair. If Jimmy Greaves, George Best, if they had been footballers now, they would be in the physical condition that these footballers are now. So it's all relative. But ability-wise, better players for me all day long. I think I've nearly caught up. I think we're doing well. I'm going to go for another few minutes and then we're leaving. Tottenham Hotspur Sport Trust are a cult. I'm not saying anything. No way Kane could be compared to Greaves on those muddy pitches with leather balls. Right, again, that's the thing. They played with leather medicine balls on awful pitches. The guys now play with everything. Perisic is going to cut in and take shots from left wing back. Okay, let's hope so. 24 away. Are we 24 away? Let's see how many we are away. Oh, yeah, we're 24 away. It's not happening because I'm only streaming for another 3 minutes. Richard has said, I'm from the Greaves era and he played against hard men and made them look ordinary. I think this is a really important point. Footballers back in the day used to be real men, tough guys that would fight each other and kick, and they didn't roll over and they didn't go down holding their shins, wanting a foul. They'd get up and fight. And nowadays, it's just a lot of prima donnas. What's my main job? I'm head of global talent for a crypto blockchain company. There you go. Where would Spurs be as a club if Harry Kane would have not come up through the youth setup? Really interesting question, that. Because for all our signings over the years, there's been some good ones. This guy, for 7 or 8 years, has banged in goals that have kept us where we are. It would have been interesting to see what forwards we would have gone for. But again, if buts, maybes, we never know. We'll never know. Yeah, lack of threat has gone back to Leon. Yeah, I think now that's his standard. I think Lacazette had a good few years in his time. I think he was a good player. Never got enough goals for my liking. I say for my liking, you know what I mean. But yeah, I was mocked for saying Oliver Skip might benefit from another loan. I think the only reason he won't go out on loan is because we haven't got that many midfielders. But for me, I'd send him out to a Premier League club on loan. I just think we get too emotionally attached to players. We really, really do. George has said, Savva, change subject, sorry, but how do you donate? You say half goes to British Heart Foundation. George, I really appreciate that. You don't donate. I can only start giving half money to the British Heart Foundation. And the reason that is, as I said, that is really close to my heart because both my mum and dad are no longer with us because of heart problems. So it's really important to me that I do that I stay true to myself, that I give back. You know, I've done bad things in my time, not that bad, but it's true. It's true for me to give back. And I can only do that once I start getting to 1,000 subscribers, George. So the quicker I get to 1,000, I mean, we're only 222 away, but the quicker we get there, the better. We do desperately need to improve our midfield, Dave. Jack, for sure. Look at him now. He's a £100 million footballer. And Spurs wouldn't pay the extra 5 million to take him. Yeah, big miss for me. He would have sat in a hotel room. We messed it up because we wanted to save 4 million. Daniel Levy. Yes, this guy's a proper footballer as well. I love Moutinho. And even at this age, he makes football look really, really simple. Right, I'm going to wrap it up very soon, guys. Any last comments you want to get in? Any last comments? Let's have a look. Johnny. Oh, wow. Didn't know that. Wouldn't pay 7 million. Oh, dear. The maddest footballing opinion I've heard is last week is Frank can't start ahead of Sanchez at left wing back. Oh, my Frank would start at left wing back ahead of Sessegnon. He's much better ball control. I saw Bastoni play in a charity match after he retired. Yeah, you don't lose it, do you? You lose your pace, your fitness, but you don't lose it. Jacob said, I don't want Bastoni now. His heart won't be in it like Lukaku at Chelsea. I mean, we don't know that, do we? Look, if he does make the move, I'm sure he'll be a pro. The Lukaku thing, I still give a lot of the blame on that to Tuchel. Lukaku, whatever we think of him, has played in 4 or 5 teams where he's banged in goals for fun. He goes to Chelsea, and I just don't like the way Tuchel sets up. Women love football as well. Her game too, representing with Kirst, our wonderful club ambassador. Love our shows we've done. Kirst bringing positive light to her game too, and YouTube giving a platform. Yeah, what these ladies are doing are great. Go and check it out. Follow her game too. Let's be inclusive. This is 2022, everybody. Females, males, everyone from different religions, different races. Everyone is entitled to this game, not just men. So, Ellie, I'll message you and Kirst later about a show next week. Savva, it's been great sharing time with you. I've got to go. I wait to get a notification. Okay, but thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, again, Coach Silver, when you watch football from those eras, can you imagine Norman Hunter now? He'd get sent off every game because the football it's almost becoming non-contact. And do you know what? Us, the fans, don't help. We appeal for everything. If a ball goes near a player's head in the penalty box, it's penalty, VAR. It's not what it was. Roy Keane is my all-time favourite player. Great player, Roy Keane. What a captain he was. This guy, I don't think he was underrated. I think he was fucking class. This is one of them footballers who made it look easy. He just oozed elegance. And I thought he had a wonderful 2 years for Spurs and then won stuff with Man United. So fair play to him. I've got a PayPal. I don't want people to donate that way. I want to make it through my own hard work. I don't want to just ask people for donations to the British Heart Foundation. It's not what I'm going to do. My dad loved Jimmy Greaves and would bounce me on his knees and tell me about him, how skillful he was, brilliant goals he scored. And when I was 5, I saw him in his last match. Yeah, listen, lots of the people like Graham, who I used to do my podcast with, was at the 1966 World Cup final. That tells you his age. He said that Jimmy Greaves was the best finisher he'd ever seen. He said he was just ridiculous. I'm going to go in 1 minute. I really need to. I'm tired now. Evening, Savva. So, Emerson Royal or Dean Austin? Dean Austin all day. Emerson Royal is shit. Emerson Royal is one of the worst footballers I've seen in the Spurs shirt. I just cannot stand the bloke at all. Let's have a look. Okay, mate. Yeah. So it's one of those things, right? It's not. I'm not saying donate money. That's not how it works. I'm just saying that when I start making money from YouTube shows, I will indeed give half of it to British Heart Foundation. It might not be that much every month, but it's something, right? And that's the thought that counts. Talking about players never losing it. Have you seen a video of Mihalovic smashing free kicks? I've not, but Jesus, could that man take a free kick, Freddie? He was, oh, wow. Right, people, I got a few more that I've just seen tickle my fancy. I love Ginola. He's my favourite personal. That I listen, I didn't say the best, but I miss skillful players like that. I would give anything to see David Ginola in this Spurs team. I love the bloke. I've tried to get him on this show, my old podcast, so many times. It's just impossible. It would honestly. I don't get starstruck. I think I would if Ginola came on. Am I live tomorrow? I don't think so at the moment. I don't think so. I'm going to treat myself to a beer tomorrow night. Savva, how do you have the work rate to stream every day? Do you drink 10 cans of Red Bull? I don't stream every day. I think, it's just trying to get... I think a lot of it, if I'm honest, football, was I'm disappointed that I let my old podcast go when I had 10,000 subscribers, and I know how much hard work it is to get back there. And I'm looking to make a world record of getting to 1,000 subscribers in under 2 months. So I'm nearly there. Listen, guys, it's been absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much. I love every minute of talking about Spurs. This has been by far my most favorite stream since I brought the channel back. There's been no trolls if there have, the mods have done a great job of getting rid of them before I managed to catch up with the comments. Let's hope we do some great stuff. Yes, Ellie Hoddle was a genius. I feel sorry for the kids that never saw Hoddle play. Much love to you all. Honestly, I really do want us to have a Spurs community where we all get along. Kirst, Ellie, I will message you about a show for next week. We'll put something together. And thank you very much. See you later. Until then, goodbye. And by the way, yes, Gaza was a genius. Goodbye.